I love those early 3D graphics, man.
Bad.
Hello, we're here. It's happy birthday or evil birthday or boo birthday or something. I don't know, because normally when I have a birthday, I don't like violently get attacked. Maybe a little, just a little bit of pranking, but no actual attack. But what we're doing here is we're just killing Jason over and over and over. But I have some friends here with us. I don't know if you guys want to say hi.
Hello.
Hey, Apollo.
How's it going?
Happy Friday the 13th, everybody. Best day of the year.
It is
Certainly a
good
frighteningly
day.
exciting one. So Zero, I've always wondered, and maybe this plays well into this. What does
Mhm.
Zero the 14th stand for?
It is partially because I am, if you've seen like behind me on my webcam, I am obsessed with Zero from Mega Man X. The first time I saw him pop on the screen and blow up Vile's arm, I said, "Holy ass, she's awesome," because I thought Zero was a girl because of the hair, and that's been God over 30 years now. And then the 14th was actually, I was going for 13th because of this game, but I think I had an old Twitch account that was the 13th and I didn't remember the password, so I just went with 14th. Very, very creative name choice.
There you go. All right, well, welcome in, everybody. We have some crazy killing of Jason here. I've been told that Jason killed 169 people over the course of his movies, and we're here to get revenge. And you can see a lot of people have at least 169, yeah. And we can see we've already got 39. I'm proud to say that before we came on stream, I killed 6 myself. So I wanted to get a few Jasons under my belt before we got going.
Yeah, with something like this too, 169, like when I was timing it on whatever it was a couple nights ago, I was getting about 15 an hour. So every kill is going to be very important to keep us from doing this for like 8 hours. So the more people we have doing this, the better. I'm assuming people want to sleep tonight, but
yeah, we'll see. Coconut just got another one. Now we're at 40. Very excited.
Beautiful.
What was the total number again? I was gonna throw a command in the chat.
169.
169.
We did 69 last time.
Really nice.
I mean, PGH did like 80 by himself, but
wow. Yeah.
He did 69 on his own, and then he came in to help us get to help us do ours because there were like what, maybe 3 or 4 of us last time.
Yeah.
And we didn't have that many.
And PGH looks like gotten started. He's got 3 on, so you know.
Yeah, PGH will probably be. I mean, if his kids aren't letting him do this, he could probably do like 18, 19 an hour. He's so consistent. His mash is incredible. It is fun to watch PGH play this game. And he's actually, for pretty much everybody here that has speedruns this game, they learned it either from PGH's guide or the Cheeseball 81's guide. They were the two that kind of had the any percent guides that taught pretty much everybody that knows this speedrun how to do this. So we're all under their little umbrella.
I learned from the PGH guide.
Do you think Twitch approves of there being a command called the kill challenge? That was I'm sure their bots love that.
We could find out.
Yeah, we're gonna find out, all right.
We'll learn with science.
We are gonna learn with science.
I'm pretty sure that's the tag I'm using. I think it'll be fine.
There was a question in chat, does killing Freddy count? There is a Freddy versus Jason ROM hack of this game that you play as baby Jason and you fight Freddy, or you can do one where you play as Freddy and fight Jason. And Freddy starts with the pitchfork, which is awesome. There's so many ROM hacks for this. There's one where you fight Wilford Brimley, which is just how someone that knew how to make ROM hacks that also liked Wilford Brimley enough to put him in the game is well beyond me, but I love the fact that we have it.
I feel like it should be you play as Wilford Brimley and then go after the Beatus.
That would be cute. I mean, yeah, like Jason's mom is the Quaker Oats guy, and fighting the Beatus would be awesome.
Is when you talk about the ROM hack with Baby Jason, is that like the Splatterhouse Wanpaku like Baby Jason sprite, or is it like a different one?
It's kind of like Jason is the size of one of the counselors, and he looks really tiny, but he runs really fast. It's adorable.
So yeah, it looks like our current count, we have 42 down. How it breaks down, Coconut Ed has been on for hours, is at 27. I hopped on for like an hour and a half and got 6. I was having some trouble. I was telling the crew in the green room, I was having some trouble in the beginning because I did this about 6 months ago, got my race percent and any percent times, and I didn't remember any of the backups. So it was like the straight linear, follow this in the race ROM and you'll get your win. But if Jason does something goofy, you're not. So I went and pulled up my notes, and then the kills started flowing. So I was able to get 6 down. So currently that's second. I'll probably be in last by the end of the night. Zero the 14th is already at 3. PGH Guitar Guy is already at 3, and Stevie Q Beats, who started posting times recently, or at least I saw him recently post sometimes, currently has 3. So great start out of the gate. Popcorn Cannon's gonna be doing some Debbie kills, he said, or kills featuring Debbie. So he doesn't intend to get a lot under his belt, but we're hopeful and excited to see him get a few under his belt as well.
Yeah, Popcorn plays as Debbie only, and he is one of 4 people to do a hitless run in this game. He's done a no damage run with Debbie before.
Oh dang.
I miss Jason.
Now, does Popcorn ever throw Debbie off the cliff? I can't imagine.
No, he's not big on launching Debbie off a cliff. But I wonder how much it would take to get him to try that once.
Might go against his honor code. PGH
Yep.
with another kill. Zero the 14th with another kill. GG's.
Yeah, like
Or another total kill.
If anyone in chat has any specific questions on things about how the run work, definitely feel free to ask. We've got a lot of knowledge here, and with the Friday, we love to get new people into the community. This game is so badly misunderstood, and it's a really fun run once you figure it out. It's not too bad to learn either. It's like, I think PGH's guide is 20-21 minutes, and a lot of it is just knowing what you have to do based on what Jason does on day 2, because where you kill Jason on day 2 determines where he starts on day 3.
And another good source of videos is, Zeros. Goes into incredible detail on all things Friday the 13th. Highly recommend.
This game is a little bit of an obsession of mine, so I want to learn every little shred of information possible about it. So I've spent a lot of time studying and doing save states and trying to figure out how little things work.
Yeah, I will say that anybody who's thinking about running this, so we'll talk through a little bit what's going on and the approach and all that stuff as we go. But there's the any percent route, which Zero can get into the seeds and how many seeds are the best route to do this fast. It's not many. And then there's actually a race ROM, which gives you the best, fastest seed. and all you have to do is follow the linear path essentially and execute. There's very little variability if you follow the path as expected. So what I did personally was I learned the route by watching PGH Guitar Guy's tutorial, and I did race percent until, you know, my hands were bleeding figuratively. And once I was done with that, like, I knew, you know, I'd beaten the game, I don't know, probably 20 or 30 times. And then I went to any percent where you have to reset like crazy. But then it was just, okay, now I just need to execute what I executed over and over again. And that was really the key to my success.
And that's basically how, like, what race percent kind of did too, is it eliminated the need to practice with save states. I mean, you could still do save states for like day 2, day 3 and everything, but you could also, while you're practicing, you can also run and try to get a good time, because we have a separate race percent category now. And that was huge to get. How the race ROM actually started was, we had run, there was some named Pandemonium, she was learning the speed run for this. And PGH, they were using PGH's guide, and PGH and I had went into her chat and were just talking about like helping her out, and her partner Rossi just happened to be there, and we were talking about how much we wanted to have a race ROM for this game, like the Ninja Turtles had one. And the next day I think he messaged PGH, he's like, hey, is this what you guys were looking for? And he had race percent, it gave us the right seed, and he threw that together in one night. It was just incredible. And since then he's done so many updates. Like, one thing you'll see, let's see who's I think
GG's, by the way, on another victory.
Thank you. I'm trying to see who. Oh wow, no one is close to the cave. Okay, Will, Mark, Chrissy. Oh no, Laura is. Now, one thing with you notice we have the in-game timer on race percent. That's normally not there. What Rossi had to do to get the in-game timer was he had to completely get rid of the cave. So when you go here, you can't go in the cave entrance is blocked off, it's not there. So he had to take out everything in the cave, and that gave him the extra memory to program in having an in-game timer, which made like moderating and figuring out everyone's times a lot easier than having to manually time everything. And like with Zark had mentioned the seeds and everything, this game actually has 256 different RNG seeds. And the one we want for any percent, with Mark starting here, Paul in the bottom middle cabin, and Chrissy in the bottom left cabin in the outer loop, it repeats twice, so you have a 1 in 128 chance of getting that seed. So that means the frame that you're pressing the start button on, like, it's just constantly, every frame is, you know what, 1/6 of a, was it 1/6 of a second every frame? And so you have to press start on the exact frame once out of every 128 frames. Like, that's very difficult. Yeah, it's PGH actually went through and used a Taz script to find out the exact frame, and it's frame 110 that you had. And unfortunately, the other repeating seed isn't 111 or something. We don't know where that is, but it's not anywhere near 110. And there's no like audio cues or visual cues you can use for that or anything. It's just silent when you turn on the game. So you just kind of have to either try to count in your head or just press the button and reset a bunch of times and hope for the best. Which is why it was so, like, you didn't see many runners of this game, because who wants to sit there and spend 2.5 hours doing runs and maybe get 2 shots at it? And you also have, like, you can have a start where you've got Mark in the right cabin and there's an instant buzzer, but then you have Laura in the bottom middle cabin or no one in the bottom middle cabin. There's so many troll seeds that you can have where it can be infuriating. Some nights you'll get a lot of runs, other nights you won't get any at all. Yeah, I remember when I was doing any percent and I'd be on such a pace after the first part, and then you get Laura in the cabin and you're like, no, you took it away from me. You stole it from my hands. Yeah, and the reason Laura is so bad is Chrissy's got a nice diagonal throwing arm. That was the wrong way. She throws really fast, she throws far. Chrissy and Mark have a terrible throwing arm. It's effectively dropping a torch on the ground in front of them. So with how slow Laura's throwing arm is, you end up costing yourself about 3-4 seconds over the course of the run, and this is a little over 3 minutes for most of the time, and that's a lot of time for a run that short. So that's why if you ever hear us like making fun of Laura or something, or why I killed Laura when I was showing off the cave there, that was because we don't like Laura in the speedrun community because she ruins runs.
Yeah, so basically when you're doing the race ROM, you're not going to get the Laura troll seed. The worst that can happen is with poor execution, Jason runs away and then doesn't run to a place that you can easily re-trigger him, and basically you just might as well reset, especially if you're trying to have a competitive time.
Yeah. Like for something like this, like Jason ran away on me for the end of day 2, but I'm just gonna go right to the lake and kill him in the lake and then follow him down by the cave. Like most of the time, people would just reset here, but I like this game. I'll play more of it. And now, like, if anyone wants to know how to, I know there's a lot of like, well, not confusion, but the day 3 cabin fights when Jason's moving really fast is considered very difficult. But if you watch when he's leaving the corners, if you dodge twice, he'll miss you, and then you can hit him as he backs up. There's also a long dodge. You have a 4-frame window right when he stops in front of you to dodge. And if you do that right, both of his punches will miss you, and you can just hit him right there without having to worry about your timing on your throws or anything. There's also a method Slackinator came up with for that, where you go a little bit to the right side of the screen. You can do 4 dodges in a row, and it basically makes the cabin fights completely free. Well, once you get the timing down a little bit, but next time I screw that up, I'll try to do Slack's method. Slack actually...
Earlier...
Oh,
I was just going to say, earlier as I was trying to salvage a run, I went into one of the cabins on the lake, and I went to go get Jason, and he hit me 2 or 3 times in a row and killed me instantly. I was like, all right, well, that settles that. I'm not a direct confrontation with Jason in the cabin kind of guy.
Yeah, and that's like one of the things I think they did that to kind of, like with the kids, you have 15 kids. If they all die, they're in batches of 5, so if the timer runs out, 5 will die. And if they all die, the game ends. So you can't just... It's a way to force you into trying to do cabin fights instead of just standing on the paths and mashing. So it's a really cool system they put in place there. Alright, so Slack's method here... Well, I did that wrong. Okay, now we're in place. You go right about to this part, and then you just do 4 dodges. And I screwed up on my controller. There you go. And I'm not timing my throw right. I'm used to doing it the other way, but 1, 2, 3, 4 in a row. And you can just do this if you're lined up right, and the timing will work out where you don't have to worry about like watching for him to leave corners or anything. You just do 1 dodge 4 times in a row. And this is how Slack actually got a perfect game, where that's no counselors, whether they're active or inactive, take damage, no kids die. And yeah, well, that's a perfect game. Nobody takes damage, no kids die, and he became the 3rd person to do a perfect game. So there's a lot of no-hit categories here too, if people are interested in that.
It's interesting watching his health. You can actually see his health when you're in a cabin. You can see it go down. You can't see that when you're out on the, like with where PGH is right now. The health you see is the counselor's health, not Jason's health. Now, obviously that's of no significance to veterans like Zero and PGH that know how many hits Jason takes, but if you're relatively new, you're probably just like, when is Jason gonna die? I have no clue.
Yep, and he does have 32 bars of health, unless you do a glitch to underflow his health, but we don't really do that in speedruns. But the torch will do that. The reason we get the torch right away is because the torch is 1 bar of health per hit. Like the rocks are 5 bars, 5 hits per bar, knife is 4, machete is 3, axe is 2, torch and pitchfork are 1. So we want to get a good weapon right away, and the quick torch isn't actually a glitch, it's a series of notes that you follow. I know there was some confusion for a while as to whether or not it was something that was considered a glitch, or if it wasn't actually, or if it was something legitimate. And it only works if you follow the note chain. So it is something that the developers intended to put in the game.
So quick update, Coconut Ed just got another kill, PGH Guitar Guy just got another kill. So our total right now is 54 people avenged for Jason's kills over time. And in terms of our runners, we got 29 from Coconut Ed, 7 from PGH Guitar Guy, 6 from Zero the 14th, 6 from me, Zarkonis, 5 from Stephen Q Beats. So coming out strong, getting a lot of good kills consistently. And then looking for Giants, one of our hosts has one herself.
And I believe
and she's de-rusting.
Go live too.
Yeah, so I'm de-rusting and I'm like refusing to reset. So you guys can see I lost him in a forest. So I'm hanging out with the lake. So
yeah, the forest can be kind of a pain.
Yeah, it's like no matter how many times I do the forest, like the upper forest I get really lost in. Oh, here he comes though. But yeah, so this was a abysmal run, but I'm not resetting. So it is what it is.
Well, if you want to learn low percent, that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Don't reset, just take it to Jason. And I think I did see Tom Cabs go live too. He's the current record holder, so if
that will be helpful.
If his start getting added to the spreadsheet with him and PGH going at the same time, that number is just gonna fly up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom Cabs seemingly came out of nowhere last year, but those of us that track the prolifics, Aaron2U2's prolifics very closely, already we're starting to get a glimpse of Tom Cabs' excellence. And he came out of seemingly nowhere and grabbed the world record in any percent and race percent. And I was like, who is this guy? And people being diligent and we want to protect the integrity. People are checking the runs. It's like, okay, this is obviously legit, but how does this guy know what he's doing like this so quickly? And then he came in for the knockout and won the knockout challenge, and you could see it in real time, just consistently, game after game, just beautifully executing everything. And it was like, okay, there you go. Now everybody knows Tom Cabs' excellence.
Yeah, I loved seeing that in the knockout tournament too. Just having him be able to show that, hey, there's nothing fishy here. This is completely legitimate. And it's fun to watch him. He's like, him and PGH are, if you want to see really next level Friday the 13th speedruns, that's where you want to go. They're kind of a tier above the rest of us. At least that's my personal opinion on it.
And speaking of tournaments, we are going to start a round robin here pretty soon. And so I'm going to kill Jason. Hallelujah, that was a horrible run, but there's 2 down. But I'm going to go and see if I can round everybody up for a little competitive action. So I'll talk to you guys in a minute.
All right.
Sounds great. Yeah, so Zero the 14th gets another kill. Looking for Giants gets a kill. So Zero the 14th, maybe there's a way that you can kind of quickly, as we're seeing PGH Guitar Guy make his way through the run right now, kind of give us a sense of what are the items that we're picking up to make sure that we can actually very quickly move through this game.
Oh, yep. So the first thing you're going to do is, in order to spawn items, you need to kill a certain amount of zombies. For Mark and Chrissy, it's 3. Laura is 5. George is 2. And I think Debbie and Paul are 4. But we're really only worried about Mark and Chrissy in this. So you kill 3 zombies, and items will spawn when you jump. That's why you see us jumping there. And you want to grab the knife. And once you grab that knife, the note in the cabin, the large cabin in the top left of the lake loop will show up. If you read that note, it'll tell you to go into the forest. So then we go into the forest, go to the left, and when you see him jumping there, it's because there's a key on the way to the forest cabin, and you need a key to get in there. So you grab the key, and then you'll see when someone's going in there, they'll go into the cabin, and then they'll leave it quick and come back. That's because that note will only spawn after you've moved through, after you've went in and out of a cabin 3 times. And going into that little entryway to the forest cabin counts as going in and out of a cabin. So once you go in there, you'll get a note that says fire will damage Jason the most, and then you go back to the cabin where you got the first note, and the torch is on the floor. And usually, if you get a good knife spawn or key spawn, where those show up is completely RNG. There's no way to manipulate that. Like Rossi looked at the code for us to try to figure that out too, and he said it's complete RNG. But the only things you really have to worry about in race percent are getting a good knife and key spawn, and then making sure Jason doesn't run away, and then your basic execution. So like once you get that torch, then you're just chasing Jason down, and he's always going to be on the same route. Like Jason will have 3 different places he can start the game, but with seed being set, he always starts in the bottom middle cabin attacking Paul. I hope I didn't go too much there. I will go into an obscene amount of detail when I'm talking about this game sometimes.
No, that's absolutely great. Yeah, and it's really interesting. I mean, like right now, okay, we can see PGH Guitar Guy just beat Jason yet again, another victory. We're up to 58 now, so great work, and GG's PGH Guitar Guy. So no, that's definitely the type of details that make a lot of sense. Like for example, I didn't know it was 3 cabins before you get that note about the fire, and that totally explains. We go into the first one to get the first note, and then we go in twice to the one that's in the woods. Now you're at 3. Now you'll get that second note. So it really kind of helps piece it together. We're trying to very specifically, while it's race percent, it's a specific seed, we still have to manipulate the route with very specific moves.
Yeah. And there's like, when you start getting into high level, like really high level, like sub 3 times on this, all your time saves are going to be, it's going to be luck with knife and key spawns. And it's going to be like little things. I'm shaving off the 1/10 of a second here, 1/4 of a second here. And you're just trying to stack those up. So there's just a lot of little things like if you can go enter the house on a couple frames to the left of where you normally would, if you get less, if you can reduce the amount of lag that Jason has when he's running away on the paths, how quickly you can do your menuing in the cabins to switch counselors and give Chrissy the torch and everything. Like it's just a lot of little things that you try to stack up in order to keep lowering your time. And then there's the rhythmic mash, because you can only have one weapon on the screen at a time. So if you overmash, you're going to be kind of sitting there between button presses when you could be throwing another one. That's where like PGH and Tom Cabs do so well. Their mash is so fast and so consistent that's being able to do that is a huge, it really sets you apart.
Yeah, absolutely. I was trying to do it because I'm an emulator runner, and I was trying to do it on my Xbox controller, but the mash was pretty inconsistent. I actually have a Mutroller from Mutant Pizza, and the buttons are very specific with the amount of effort you have to use to press the buttons. And because my button presses were much cleaner, I was able to much better time my fire throws, and that really was one of the big differences as to why I started finishing runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, your time went up. You got really good times really quickly too. I think you bopped me with like what, after a couple, like between a couple days and a week.
Well, yeah, I kind of had a psychotic week of just like, not really psychotic, but like just like a very persistent compulsive week of I'm just going to play this until I get the time I want.
And then you can be like, I'm done. No more resets. Can
Right.
go and
Oh
do
gosh.
something that I actually get to play the game instead of just sitting there resetting and listening to use the torch to light the fireplaces, where the game is lying to you. It's not the torch, it's the lighter.
It really is amazing, like how few attempts you get, like on any percent. It's one of those games where the RNG, because of the seeding that Zero was talking about earlier, it's one of those games where I think a lot of people leave time on the board because it's like, I can't stand this anymore. Not that I can't stand the game. The game is great. I could do race percent all day, but I can't stand going 2 hours and not getting the seed I want. And then the one time I think I have it, I get a Lara troll and it's all gone. So I think a lot of people leave time on the board in this game, which is a shame, but it's just a natural course.
Yeah, and that's one of the really nice things about race percent too. It lets people really dive into it and really do a legitimate grind without having to sit there and just reset.
Yep.
And that was so big for our for the community and getting new people. And then we have meme runs like throw Debbie off a cliff, kill all counselors. I mean, throw Debbie off a cliff. I think I want to say Lack Attack has the record in that, and he's like 1 frame off of the Taz or something like that. It's like, that's just incredible. And thankfully, the seed you want for that is really, it's the most common one in the game. It's, I believe, the low percent seed.
And I was the one that did the Taz, and yeah, there's still a frame. Everybody should chase Lax. Incredible run there. I did want to just make a quick announcement, is that if you are interested in doing a little competitive action, we have a round robin that's going to start here in a little bit. And the way it's going to work is basically everybody's going to join in and then be paired off for 1v1 races. And we're going to do, so everybody will be paired with everybody eventually. I'm thinking there's going to be 4 to 6 of us. And so there should be something like 3 to 5 rounds, depending on how many people join. But if you are interested, jump in our Discord and join the race room. I'll also post it in chat for those of you that are watching that way. But we're going to just sync everybody up using Racetime GG. So just a little FYI for those of you that would like to compete. I have not derusted, so everybody can just come in and beat the crap out of me. I'm totally good with that. So
Yeah, it'll be fun watching PGH and Tom.
yeah,
Definitely looking forward to that.
Yep, gotta have that. 2 Titans. Yeah, like you said, Tomcap's extremely consistent. It's going to be fun watching him put up some runs here.
And it'll be good for our kill counter.
Yep, for sure. All right, looks like Zero is wrapped up another run. GG's.
Thank you.
Tomcap's actually already on his way to wrap up his first run here. So do a little left turn there. That brings Jason back on this screen, and now he's going to chase. Should get the 3rd confrontation here. And Jason's staying, so he's going to wrap it up. 2:52. That's a ridiculous time. Good GG's Tomcaps. Already coming out of the gate strong. That would be a top 10 time. Well, top 10 time, and yeah, top 10 time in race percent. So there you go. He's warm.
Yeah, just first D-Rust run, top 10 time.
No big deal.
It's nothing.
Does Tomcabs have a sheet? Oh, it looks like here I will update his sheet so it says Tomcabs, because right now it says runner. There we go. Okay, great. So a quick update on our total kills and who's been involved in the killing. We're up to 63. Coconut Ed still leading the way strong. They have 30. PGH Guitar Guy has 9. Zero the 14th has 8. Stephen Q Beats has 7. I have 6. I am not running anymore right now. That was from earlier. Looking for Giants has 2, and Tomcabs is out of the gate, and they have 1.
looks like we are avenging people from part 7 right now. David was just the most recent one.
You have the total deaths from each one memorized.
Oh, I was just looking. Oh, it looks like Eddie just got avenged. I don't know how Giant set the spreadsheet up, but it is. I mean, I know Excel pretty well, but this is way beyond anything I could ever set up. Yeah, like every time we put something on, it fills in another victim and their name and everything. Oh, Robin just got avenged. She got tossed through the window.
Thank you. Oh yeah, I guess I should share the link out to chat. So we do have. I don't know if we want to show the visual or not, because all the individual avenged people look kind of small on screen. But I can post a link to the tracker that we're using, and you can see the folks that we are avenging, and the little figures will show you how they died in the movie. So it's kind of fun. But I'll throw that into chat right now.
Yeah, that is really
Here
neat.
we go.
And one of my favorite deaths in the entire franchise is going to be avenged soon. Melissa from part 7, where she gets an axe through the head and then she gets thrown through a lamp that was for some reason placed on top of a TV.
Friday the 13th was Saw before Saw was Saw. It's like each movie is like, what's another clever way we can have Jason kill somebody?
Yeah, they've had
Really, it
there's
worked.
so many good kills. Jason X actually has my two favorites. Adrian, when she gets the dry ice and gets her face smashed. And then at the end of the movie, Janessa gets there's a hole in the side of the spaceship and she gets sucked through a grate. And those are my two favorite kills in the entire franchise, and they're both from the same movie. He did
they
kill
sound
Kevin Bacon with
tragic.
an arrow through the neck.
They sound both tragic and awesome.
I mean, Adrian, you don't really get to know her. She's just like the medical assistant or something. But Janessa, I thought she was hilarious. Oh, looks like Bedwa's in. He's got his first kill.
GG's Benoit.
So we are up to 66.
Tom
TGH
Cab's getting
just
the
hit 10.
backup here. Tom Cab's just got a 255. He wasn't able to close out Jason on the 3 attacks, so he went down to the lake, and Jason is there on that route, and he got the kill. So there we go. Tom Cabs has number 2. GG's.
A 255 on a 4 cycle on the lake is just
Right?
it's incredible. That's like words cannot describe how impressive that is.
You're too good, Tom Cabs. Too good. Keep it up. $67 avenged. We're almost at 69 with 100 to go.
Maybe we can wait till there's 69 on the board and then we can kick off our round robin. What do you guys think?
Sounds good.
Sure.
Are deaths during round robin gonna be a track too? I mean, those are Jason kills, so
Yeah.
Yep.
I think
They,
they should.
nice.
I'd like to count them at least.
Yeah.
Got some round robins lined up. It looks like we're going to 4 screens at four runners at once. Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah. And then
Okay.
I will post the matchups in chat once we're ready.
So I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say, based on the entries I currently see right now, I'm pretty sure Tom is gonna. No offense to the rest of us, but Tom is gonna whoop us pretty hard. No
His
offense
power
to
could
it.
go out, a controller
That's
could
true.
die. Things could happen.
No offense to the rest of us here, but I hope no one takes offense to that.
Maybe we should make Tom do just any percent with no resets. The rest of us can do
Tom does a mash with his feet.
Oh, we can get him to wear socks on his hand. That'll work.
Yeah, the sock hands challenge. We got to add an extra pair of socks each day.
Yeah, he's looking really clean on his movement here. His Chrissy movement here through the menuing is really great. It's a number of inputs there. He had to switch. So basically, you immediately pass the torch to Chrissy, you switch to Chrissy, and then you go to the menu and you switch between two counselors to get back to Chrissy, and that sets it up so that you can fight Jason. And that's really one of the harder parts to do fast in this. Like, the menuing is really one of the biggest challenges. The menuing and keeping Jason on the screen. And Tom Cabs is looking really good. His torch throwing is very clean right now as well.
With that menuing, we had actually been doing it the same way we swapped between to kick Paul out of the cabin, but Valiant Link had actually showed I think it was at the time PGH Cheese and I that you can do things like down, select. I don't remember the exact button combination. I just practice it so much that I just do it. But you can do the swap in a certain way where it's like 5 or 6 button presses, and it saves you a full second over doing it the same way you would to kick Paul out of the cabin. So that's something, if you're looking to get into higher level running on this, that quick swap is something that's going to make it's going to be very big for your time.
Another 252 from Tom Cabs here. That's just out of control. PGH Guitar Guy has a really good one going here too. It'd probably be 253. Oh no, he's got to do a fourth cycle. So 254, just 4 cycle 254 is ridiculous.
Yeah,
GG's Tom Cabs, GG's PGH Guitar Guy.
Oh, looks like Bedwa just joined the round robin.
Nice.
Yeah, like, I would like to make a formal request to not be running at the same time PGH and Tom Cabs go against each other. I would formal
Hey,
request.
there's nothing wrong with third place.
I
So I'll let you guys
want to
know.
watch that. I want to watch that match. That's gonna be. Hopefully, it's not something where it gets decided by like one of them gets a bad knife or key spawn. Like, it's too bad we can't make the spawns like the item spawns consistent too.
So it looks like we have an uneven number of challengers right now. So we might have one person kind of, sit out or whatever. So we'll have to kind of like for each of the rounds, unless we have, another challenger step forward in the next couple minutes. But right now we've got Bedwa, Coconut, myself, Tom Cabs, and Zero the 14th lined up for our round robin.
So it looks like in the sheet it says PGH. Do we want to switch that to? Is it Coconut PGH 0? Yeah. So
Yeah, and I'll add Bedwa. Instead, Bedwa.
And meanwhile, our other runners will continue to get the job done, continue to seek vengeance and achieve vengeance in the background. So we'll still see our number of avenged continue to grow while our runners here are doing their round robins. But this will be fun because it's gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone, right? Like, we're gonna see our runners race, which adds a nice intriguing element to it. But then we're also gonna kill Jason hopefully 4 times. So
Keep that
definitely
count going up,
continuing to
'cause
achieve.
we still got 96 to go. I hope my math is right.
We can pretend.
Yeah, I'm
think you're right, though. Yeah.
I'm gonna hope it's right, and if it's not, well, like I said earlier, I'm kind of dumb, so.
All right,
Looks like you
since
have it
we
right. We have what we need, Giants.
We do have an uneven number of runners, unless you wanted to jump in, Zark. So we'll have probably
Well, I got my
have
fill
Benoit-
earlier.
Oh no, you got your 6 kills. So we might have Benoit join in the second round, but we'll make sure everybody goes against everybody eventually. So give me 1 second and we'll get started.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck. Tom Cabs is, getting a little extra practice in here. You're throwing a little intimidation on the board here. Look at these perfectly spaced out torch throws. Look at these very clean movements. Don't mind me. I'm just gonna finish the job here. Nearly frame perfect.
It is something to watch. Like, I mean, I've been running this game for, Jesus, the first game I ran. It's been ages, but just to see, I don't even know how long it's been, but just to see how clean Tom's movements are, words can't really, other than saying it's awesome, like, words can't explain just how well he does.
Yeah, it really is
And
fun to watch.
I think I saw Roger Rabbit on Tom's EverDrive or Flashcart. Another awesome LJN game. Even though it has the worst final boss in, I think, possibly ever. Judge Doom is just absolute garbage.
Yeah, Junkyard Dave recently defeating the world record, an incredible world record. I think it was 356, and he got a 355, something like that. Oh, there goes Tom Cabs. He's like, "Yep, I'm in."
And there was a little time left on the tape, because Judge Doom was not cooperating on Dave's record. So there's still a little bit of time, and we keep trying to kind of poke Dave into going back to Roger Rabbit again. Even though it's a very reset. It's a lot like this. It's a very, very reset heavy game.
Sounds like we need a race percent ROM so people can learn how to execute it, and then go in on the actual any percent.
That would be incredibly helpful.
All right, bit of an update. So to make this even and less crazy, I am just going to sit out for this round and be part of comms and help with the technology. Benoit Blackburn, a also notorious Friday the 13th runner, is going to join the race. So everybody welcome in. And racers, if you are ready, go ahead and ready up in race time, GG.
Welcome in, Benoit. Good luck.
Fighting,
Yeah,
yeah. So
Benoit's
a little. I was going to say a little tail of the tape here. So Benoit in race percent has a 257. Zero's got a 248, one of the best ever. Tom Cabs has a 244, the best ever in terms of fastest time. And then Coconut, let's see, does Coconut have a time on the any percent board? I mean, I'm sorry, on the race percent? It doesn't look like it. Coconut does not have any times posted, so I'll be curious to see.
253 is what he said.
Oh, okay.
253, okay. Well, there you go.
Okay, it looks like our runners are ready. So let me just make sure everything's set. But our first set of matchups. So again, this is 1 versus 1. So it's going to be Coconut Ed versus Tom Cabs, and Benoit Blackburn versus Zero the 14th for the first round.
Good luck, everybody.
All right. I'm clicking the button. Am I good to click the button, guys?
Yep.
All right, clicking the button.
All right, all of our runners are eagerly awaiting the title screen, constantly shooting the knife through Jason's helmet, and then it goes boom, boom, boom.
One thing, I wonder if we could get the flashing. Or did he already move? Did he remove that? Oh, he did remove it already. Well, never mind then. Rossi, remove that so you don't have to worry about like the visual lights flashing and everything. Jeez, Rossi's done everything. All right, timer is
Okay.
counting down.
Okay, we'll see our
Good
runners
luck,
move very
racers.
quickly here. And I'll try to talk through a little bit of what we were talking about earlier in relation to the things that people are doing. So everybody's going to be choosing Mark right out of the gate here. We're going to see them kill 3 zombies. Because like Zero said, it takes 3 zombies to, I believe it was an item drop. But either way, we're killing 3 zombies and then a jump and get the dagger. Coconut gets it very early, right in the right spot too. All of our runners are now in the cabin. They're going to turn. They're going to grab that note. Note says, "Get into the woods." So they're going to make their way over into the woods here. Just going to go left. And now they got to pick up that key. So you're going to see them jump. And Coconut gets the key right where he wants it. Tomcabs as well. Bedwell was waiting, and Zero's got it as well. You're going to see them go in and out of the cabin here. So that they've been in a cabin 3 times to get our note. It says, "Fire will damage Jason the most." That's noted. Let's go get our torch. So they're going to get out of the woods here and make their way back to that initial cabin, which, you know, I was today days old or years old when I realized that, or I was told that that was the original cabin we went into in the beginning. So it shows what happens when you just focus on a route and don't focus on what's actually going on around you. So long way over. Now they're going to make their way into the first cabin on the next stretch. They're going to swap out and swap back to Mark, and Coconut is already fighting Jason, and everybody's in Jason, and Bedwa's right about there. They're going to want to hit him 7 times each time, three cycles here. It's not going to kill Jason, but it's going to set him up. He takes 7 hits before he actually runs away. But Bedwa's got Jason running left. The rest of them have him going right. And then here's where that intricate swapping, you pass torch to Chrissy, you change to Chrissy, and then you do a little swapping of the characters. And Jason should die here, which he has on 3 of our screens here, and Bedwa should be wrapping up very shortly as well. He has. So everybody's out of day 1. So now day 2, it's all about killing Jason in the 3 cycles. If he gets away, you still can beat him, but it's going to start to get pretty sketchy if he gets away on the 3rd one. You got to kind of hope he's going to end up in the woods. So Tomcabs dies. Oh no.
Oh no!
He's got to reset. Meanwhile, Coconut is
Tom
out.
did that intentionally. Tom feels bad for us.
Oh, Tom, don't you do that. Show us your excellence. Well, anyway, we're into day 3. Bedwa just wrapped up day 2 with Jason as well. Zero is on a clean path to finish up day 3. So is Coconut. We're going to fight him 3 times again as well here. You're going to see Zero took a left after that first battle, and that brought Jason back on the screen for 7+ more hits. And now Zero is going to get the 3rd cycle here. And Jason's sticking around, so as long as he lives, Zero's going to win, and he does. He gets a 258. So GG's Zero on his race with Bedwa. Bedwa is looking to clean up 4th cycle here, but Jason gets away. And
Jason
Coconut
gets away.
has... Yep, Coconut has defeated Jason, so GG's on Coconut, but Bedwa was able to go chase down Jason, so Bedwa has wrapped up his match as well, or his race, so GG's there. And Tomcabs is making his way through day 1.
Great job.
Yeah, like if Jason runs away, he still has a set roll. He actually goes into that large cabin right when you get back into the lake loop. But in a speed run, you don't really want to go through there because there are so many rooms and the cabin fights are slow. So you just kind of want to keep going to the right, and you can get a couple more. You can run into him on the path a couple more times before he actually gets to the lake and hits the kids. Thanks, GG Bedwa. GG's Coconut. GG's Tom.
I'll tell you, I'm like a deer in headlights when he gets away, and you know, you don't see the screen stop and a zombie walk off the screen. I'm like, uh-oh, I'm just going to go in and out of certain paths. I'm going to go right as much as possible in and out of a few paths and pray.
Yeah, until like if you're not like trying to do like serious runs or anything like that, there's really no sense in, because Jason does follow a set route. Once you know where he starts, you will know exactly where he's going until the game ends. But that's not something that is worthwhile to learn for 99% of people unless they want to like start trying to do something like low percent or like different, mainly like the no hit categories. If you're doing like any percent or race percent, you're only going to be doing this one seed.
Right,
So
exactly.
you don't need to do any of that other stuff.
All right, well, great job, all of our runners, but special GGs to Coconut Ed and Zero the 14th for their wins. That gives them each a point in the round robin. A good start. No doubt Tom Cabs will successfully close out here. Oh, he did actually close out. Sorry, I thought he was on day 2, but he's actually on day 3, so he has closed out. Looks like Bedwa's sneaking in an extra run while while we're waiting.
Well, thanks PGH. Have a good rest of the night. Enjoy dinner. Say hi to the family.
13. GG's PGH.
That's a good number to get.
All right, we've got another room open, and we're gonna host now Coconut Ed with Bedwa Blackburn and Tom Cabs versus Zero the 14th.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Well, I already got the yips, so.
Oh, see, you're trying to say that Tom Cabs was throwing the first round. I don't think he's gonna, I won't assume that. I'll assume he had some bad luck. I don't think he's gonna throw a second round here against U0. I think he's gonna make a statement.
Oh, I think when we did the knockout tournament, I don't know what it is, but when we get in a setting like that, like I don't have a really good mash to begin with, but I have a tendency to really badly overmash. And I'm guessing that's probably what's going to happen here. I'm going to I have to save every possible frame against Tom's, and then I'm going to end up dying. And it's going to be very humorous. I'm going to blame Laura because it's her fault.
Sounds right,
It's always
Whenever
somewhere.
something goes wrong in this game, we always make sure to blame Laura. That is one of the first things you learn as a Friday the 13th speedrunner. If something bad happens, it's Laura's fault.
in
For our
honor
runners.
for here's
Real
some
Go ahead,
Zero
Jay.
Laura love, in chat.
Yep.
Oh gosh, that's funny. And just a reminder to our runners, as you're going, while you're streaming your kills, and even in these round robins, make sure you mark them in your tallies so we can see what we're at for the number avenged. Right now, 81. Coconut Ed leading the way with 32, and PGH Guitar Guy doing a little bit of dad percent, but made sure he got some runs in. He got 13 kills, pretty amazing. And Stephen Kubitz is at 13 now as well. So we got some good consistency going on the background while we're doing this wonderful round robin.
82, we're almost halfway there now. I think. 82 to... Yeah, that's almost halfway. I think. I'm second guessing my math.
That'd be 164. So yeah, you're pretty much almost halfway there. After this race will be.
Has Popcorn's runs been getting marked in?
Let me look.
I think
It looks
he goes pretty casual. So
Okay.
he was, yeah. He told me, he's like, we'll see. We might get a couple kills in, but mainly having fun. But yeah, throw me in there. So
Yeah, every kill helps. We're making really good time here. I'm loving this turnout. I was wondering, I told my wife, I don't know if I'm gonna end up being this could go till 11, this could go till midnight. but we barely started for. I mean, Coconut and you and Coconut had what, a 30 some before we started.
Yeah, before the
So
stream
we had
started, yeah, something like that.
Good head start, but still, this is really moving.
Yeah, you forgot the part that you said to your wife when you said, this could go to, 11 or midnight, and I'm ready for it, is how you finished that sentence.
Oh, I was usually like, I get up so early, and I'm surprised I was expecting the kids to come down here to say goodnight, but I guess they were content with me saying goodnight before I came down here, so. Or they're still awake, which could be really bad, because they were both overtired.
It looks like all of our racers are readied up. So I am going to go ahead and hit the button if it's okay with you guys.
Yep.
Great.
All right.
Let's go.
Button.
Good luck,
button is
everybody.
clicked. Good luck.
All right, Coconut Ed versus Bedwa Blackburn. Tom Cabs versus Zero the 14th. I mean, we're talking about some serious heavy hitters here. This will be a good matchup here for sure. All right. So on our race time GG counter, we are good to go. So we're going to see everybody start to progress. There might be a little variance, but the good thing is because we're doing race percent, we're going to be able to see what everybody's timer's at. So it really gives us a good sense.
The in-game timer
Right.
rules over all.
For sure. But I'm not super into menuing. I'm not the best menuing speedrunner. I'm probably very mediocre. But I really kind of enjoyed the menuing in this. There was a lot of anticipation and pressing the buttons in anticipation of making the moves and getting the menuing down. Really, really enjoy it.
And there's like PGH found something where there's like a frame perfect thing you can do to make the screen transitions and cabins go faster where your counselor won't pump their arms as much. And I have no idea what that's one of the things I do not know about this game. Like, I don't know how you specifically do that. He's like explained it before. It's not something I remember. It's not like he's keeping that information secret. He's shared everything. It's just not something I remember how to do. Oh, there's the overmashing.
PGH is about the most welcoming community, leader of a game that there could possibly be, when it comes to Friday the 13th in general, but especially in Friday the 13th.
Tom Caps is flying now. Holy moly.
Yeah, he's got
138.
his kill at what? Yeah, wow, just wild. Tom Cabs and Zero going strong. We'll see if someone gets a 4-cycle. If Tom Cabs gets a 4-cycle, he's going to let Zero back into this. It's only a few seconds away.
I like the what if you all notice on Top Cap screen, he went up and down the path to force Jason on the screen. That saves a second as well. But sometimes Jason
especially when you have a zombie on the screen, that's a great way to get that zombie out. Tom Caps dies. He must have taken a hit from something early on, and when you're on day 2 and you take a hit early on, it really, really can cause the end of that to be fishy. I took a few deaths earlier in that exact same way.
And like, there's a
how
big
Jason
difference
does.
between getting hit by an axe from Jason, which does 5 bars, and a Jason hug, which is 7. So if you get a hug, that can end up being the big difference maker there too.
Yeah, no hugs.
When you say hug, you're basically talking about running into him, right? And that can be particularly a problem on day 2 when you're trying to chase after him. He doesn't move, the screen doesn't move, you bump into him.
Yeah.
And Zero the 14th takes the victory. He got a 3-minute flat. Coconut Ed as well, and then Bedwa Blackburn right behind. So Coconut Ed with the win in the race against Bedwa Blackburn. Zero the 14th with a win in the race against Tom Cabs. 3 more Jasons down with 1 on the way. I'd encourage Tom Cabs to finish this run. We can, individually focus on how ridiculously good his movement and his timing is here.
Yeah, I'm just watching his mash. I am so like envious of how he does his mash. Like I had to stop trying to mash and just do one button press at a time because I kept over mashing, and it just like Tom and PGH make it seem so effortless to do that really, because you're not actually mashing, you have to stay rhythmic. It's like a rhythmic
Right.
mash, and it's the consistency there is just next level.
Yeah, it truly is rhythmic, and it's the only way you can do it, because otherwise you might die from Jason or he'll run away. I won't say it's the only way, but it's definitely the only way you're going to have an effective fast run is the rhythmic. You know, a game that reminds me of is Double Dare, which there was like 3 runs on the board, and then we figured out how you had to rhythmically mash the directional pad to get your guy to run. And then now there's a bunch of runs on the board, and it's like the same thing here. Like, you'll throw a lot of runs away if your rhythm of your mash is not consistent. Okay. So was that the second one, I think? Yeah, the second of
Yeah, this
3
is day-
cycles here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and he had
this
a 4
looks like
cycle on day
yeah.
2, so running after down the path.
Uh-oh, he ran away again. That could be
Oh,
a
you just
problem
gotta-
here.
Gotta go over by he's still got
Just keep
2 or
chasing.
3 more path fights.
Oh, there we go.
There it is.
GG.
302. GG's Tomcaps. Another kill.
GG.
Nicely done,
We
racers.
are up to 80. We got 85 on the board now.
The kills continue to go up. More than halfway there. 86. That's awesome.
You love to see it.
Absolutely. And look at Bedwa. Bedwa's like, yeah, you know, I'll definitely continue racing, but in the meantime, I'm going to get another kill in while we're here.
The smart move. Gotta keep. Because I don't know if Bedwa did any de-rusting during the week, so this is definitely a good time to try to get that extra one in. Because we got a
Yeah,
little
it
bit of
absolute-
downtime here.
Sure. Yeah, it absolutely helps to just do runs. Like the first night that I got back to this a few days ago, man, I just couldn't remember what to do. But then like after you just go, it's like, okay, I remember the first minute. Now I remember the first 75 seconds. Now I got the first 90, and it just all starts to come together. It really is a process of repetition, and then you got the route down, and you can, you know, be in race shape.
Like what Tom said, when the game goes wrong, it goes wrong. I like to call that it snowballs. Like it starts one thing, it seems really small at the start, but then it just keeps getting worse and worse and worse until it's done. That was something I ran into so much when I was like, trying to do like low hit runs. You take one hit and a fight on like day 3, and then you're like halfway through day 3, no hits. And then you take one, and suddenly your character's 1 hit from death because you took 6. Things can go south so quickly.
Every time I run into Jason, I just know, or like one of the zombies right out of the gate, day 2 or day 3, I'm like, come on, man. Now I have to just hope that Jason doesn't just catch me off guard and my mash is a little off, and next thing you know, I die.
Now there is a little thing, it's very risky, but if you get 18 hits between cycles 1 and 2, you are guaranteed a 3 cycle for that day. But if you get 17, it's going to depend on your mash, or ideally Jason will charge at you, back up, and throw an axe, because then if your mash is right, he'll be stuck in the throwing animation while you get him below 7 bars, and he'll stay and fight to the death. If not, he'll get to 7 bars, and if he's not stuck in that throwing animation, he'll run off, and that's why you can't get an extra fight. So you can force a 3 cycle, but you also have to kind of sit still and wait for him to throw an axe, so he's stuck in that throwing animation. So it's, do you want to take that extra hit and take that extra damage and hope you can kill him before he runs off? Like, do you have enough health? There's so many little things if you're going to try to force a 3 cycle that you have to be watching for. And it can make or break a run.
All right, I think all of our racers are ready, so I'm clicking the button.
All right, good luck, everybody.
All right, good
Remember,
luck,
if something goes
GL.
wrong, Laura's fault. Always blame Laura.
It's a reasonable approach to life. All
Mhm,
right,
yep.
so our final round robin, the races are Zero the 14th versus Coconut Ed and Bedwa Blackburn versus Tom Cabs. And right now on our round robin leaderboard, Coconut Ed has 2 wins, Zero the 14th has 2 wins. Bedwa and Tom Cabs looking for their first win here, and one of them is definitely going to walk away with a win. And between Coconut and Zero, one of them is going to walk away with a round robin victory. Zero already in the woods, Coconut right behind him. Bedwa and Tom Cabs also in at the same time. Tom Cabs had a key come late, as did Bedwa, so they both had to go back. Zero and Coconut getting their note, and Tom Cabs getting his note. Bedwa's right about there.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Coconut's knife and key spawn were, but mine couldn't have been better. I got incredibly lucky with the knife and key spawn there. So hopefully Coconut did too.
Yep, relatively clean. You guys are pretty much neck and neck. Bedwa and Tom Cabs are pretty close. I'd say Tom Cabs is probably about 3 seconds ahead of Bedwa. And we're all making our way down this long stretch of the runs, about 10 seconds, where it's just a whole lot of running and dodging a zombie or two. All right. We got our swap, Zero and Coconut, both fighting Jason again. 3 cycles. We want to get 7 hits. On the 7th hit, he's going to run away. So 7 hit, 3 cycles. Coconut missed the zombie there, and so he had to wait a little bit longer. And then we do our pass, change, swap. And clean up and finish up Jason here on day 1. Zero very, very cleanly and effectively doing it. Coconut Ed as well, 144. Tom Cabs at 141. Great starts. Bedwa working through the menuing, and then they'll be facing off against Jason here as well. Okay, and this time, instead of doing 3 sets of 7, we're trying to kill Jason on 3 cycles here. And Coconut and Zero
It's
are
close.
pretty much lined up, but yeah, Zero's going to take him out, as is Tom Cabs. Coconut, Jason ran away up in the woods here. Hopefully Jason will buckle down for a final battle. We'll see. And Bedwa's into stage 3 as well. All right, good. Coconut did get the final fight with Jason there, so now Coconut's all done with day 2. Zero, Tom Cabs right about at Jason here. Again, because they got him on a 3 cycle. Well, actually, Tom Cabs had 3 cycles, so he got to bring Jason left and get the 2 rounds, and now we'll be closing it out. He's going to get us just missed the sub 250. He got a 250.033, I believe it was. So GG's Tom Cabs. Finally got the win he was looking for and got it in dramatic fashion. And then GG's to Zero. Zero, I didn't catch your time. I'm probably like about a 304, was it?
Yeah, something like that. I got a 2 4 cycles. Day 2 and day 3 both had 4 cycles.
Yeah, if there's one thing that I would love, it would be that the final time was showing on this screen for the race ROM. Because then often I'm like, okay, what did I get? I can't quite remember. Got to go back to my recording.
I wonder if that's something I wonder if that's something we could have Rossi put in for if there's another version of this. Like, I'm not sure if like, I don't know the first thing about programming, so maybe it'll
Right.
let that stay up, or yeah, I'm not sure. Hopefully it would though, because
Yeah,
that would be really nice. You've got like what, maybe 5 or 6 seconds, if even that, to look at your time without having to go back to the tape.
Right.
So it looks like Bedwa and Coconut both waiting for Jason to show up on the other side of the lake after the kids. That is one place.
Coconut-
He always enters the kids from the left side of the lake, and after he leaves the kids, he'll come out from the right side.
Ah, gotcha. Coconut was making some good progress, but wasn't able to close them out. So now they're both down by the cabins.
Yep, and if once Jason
And,
leaves there, if you just hang out in between
Coconut
these
takes-
2 trees.
Percent, you
Ooh.
got it. You can do it.
Unfortunately, Coconut took a death, but now they're gonna see if they can wrap it up here. They got a knife that should help.
Oh, Bedwa too.
Bedwa goes down.
Laura's fault. Always remember, Laura's fault. Yeah,
When in
here.
doubt, Laura's fault.
Now there are a couple things like, oh, Jason's got looks like 3 bars of health left for Coconut, so that's going to be 12 knives.
I love that
So
you
this
just do
should
that
be a
math,
pretty
like,
quick mash.
instantaneously. Coconut,
Yeah.
GG.
GG's?
Great
did he
work,
kill him?
Coconut.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, that's like when someone died, like when things go like Tom had said, when things go wrong in this run, they go really wrong.
Dramatically sideways.
Looks like Bedwa's got 3 bars left as well. So it should be 12 quick knives to Jason's stomach, and it's done.
GG.
Yeah, those
GG.
knives. Those knives are pretty effective when you don't have a torch.
They're better. They're definitely better than the rocks.
All right. I think that means that we have a winner of our round robin, which is Coconut Ed with 3 wins. Solid. In second place, we've got
that-
Zero the 14th, and then Tom Cabs, right?
Is that right? Didn't
I
you
think
win
so.
0?
Oh yeah, I think.
Wait,
I thought
this-
0 won that one.
Oh, wait, crap. Oh, no, sorry. You guys are tied. Oh, wait, do we have a tie? Wait.
No. 0 won against Coconut on that one.
Okay, I can't see. My mouth
Yeah.
is terrible. Like zero's okay. 0, sorry. GG 0.
Not a problem.
Your 14th, and then Coconut, and then Tom Cabs. So
We
very
I
all
have it
win.
on good authority that
Yeah.
Apollo won.
Yep, Apollo Smug for the win confirmed.
That's true.
Not sure what that sounds like on my microphone, but I was trying to
Dude,
clap.
I'm sick at this game. I won. Just trust me. Source, trust me, bro.
Yeah, I mean, do we want to just? I mean, can we just have like random races at this point? Do people just want to do like a 4-way here?
I'll leave it up to you guys.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
I'm fine with whatever, as long as we're killing Jason.
I'll throw it out to the racers to see if anybody wants to do like a 4-way race here.
Tom
Yeah,
Cabs
I'm
was
game.
saying, how about a round 4? So we can just have a synchronized 4-way race here. Once Bedwa and Zero wrap up these rounds of killing Jason.
Very interested to
Alright.
see if I stop overmashing now. If that only happens in races.
Well, I'm gonna do that
Well, now
right
you don't
now.
have-
I'm gonna. Okay.
I was gonna say, now you don't have Tom Cabs looking over your shoulder, Zero, so maybe you'll feel a little bit more comfortable in your
little, yeah.
runs.
Heart rate will be going down a little bit. Less tension.
Well, in case anybody wants to start a 4-way race or a free-for-all, I'm gonna set up something in Racetime GG. So if you want to join in, join on in. So, and I'll post that in chat and in the Discord. Here y'all go. And if it's just me
While-
or it's just Tom Cobbs, I'll join in and just get my butt handed to him by him, and that's fine.
There you go. While we're waiting for people to join Race Time GG, I'll run through what we have for individual runners in our Vengeance Against Jason. So we're at 94 total avenged kills by Jason. Individually, Coconut Ed is at 34. Stephen Q Beats is at 15. So GG's Stephen Q Beats behind the scenes keeping the kills lining up. PGH Guitar Guy stopped at 13. Zero the 14th is now at 11 and counting. Me, Zarkonis, stopped at 6. Tom Cabs is at 6 and running. Bedwa Blackburn is at 5 and running. And Looking for Giants is at 4 and running. So the numbers are counting up. And again, if you join or get on stream and you want to join as well, you don't have to be on the screen here. You can just be contributing. Add a sheet to the community kill spreadsheet that has been created by Giants here and start tallying. We'll get to 169 by the end of the night, come hell or high water.
Yep, doesn't matter how long we have to go, we're getting there.
And I just pinned the tracking sheet for those of you that are just joining us or would like to join in. The tracking sheet also, you can kind of keep track of who we are avenging. All of the individual deaths that Jason has caused in the movie are visualized there, and every time we have a win, we avenge one of those folks, and that'll appear. And if you want to start tracking your own Friday the 13th wins, like Zark said, you can just add a sheet and join in on the fun. And it looks like we've got 5 entrants already to the free-for-all. So what do you guys want to do? Should we do a 3-pack, or do you want to do
Oh, a 3-pack
just another
could be
1v1?
fun.
3-pack?
3-pack
maybe?
would be 15. We'd be knocking out 15 by the time this is done as a group. I like the 3-pack idea. So for anyone that might not know what the 3-pack is you do a run. As soon as that run is done, you just reset, start again, and the goal is just to beat the game 3 times in a row. Well, not in a row, but 3 times as quickly as possible. Like if you die, you don't have to restart at game 1 again. Like if you're on game 3, you die, you just reset and you continue on game 3. So it's just 3 times, start to finish, as fast as possible. And that's like, there's so many things that there's so many variables that come into place in a 3-pack. Like, someone dying might not necessarily be as big of a deal as it is in, like, the 1 versus 1s, or like a round robin. Because odds are something bad is going to happen to everybody at some point over 3 runs.
Alright, so it looks like we've got Bedwa, Coconut, Tom Cab, Zero the 14th, all of our round robin racers are joined. I'm gonna join in and, die probably a lot, but that's okay. I'm dying amongst friends, and that's what's important.
And it's if you die, Laura's fault.
It is
I'll
Laura's
laugh.
fault. It's always Laura's fault.
So
Alright,
in
I
terms of
think-
what we have on the screen, we have 6 runners on the screen, but 5 of our runners are actively participating in the 3-pack race, and Stephen Q Beats is just going to continue to just get the job done, pile up those kills, so we get a good look at that as well. Does that all sound right?
Yep, Steven's keeping that count ticking up. We're almost at 100 now. Which means we are really filling in that sheet.
That's great. So at the end of this 3-pack race, between Zero, Giants, Bedwa, Coconut Ed, and Tom Cabs, we'll add 15 kills on top of anything anybody else is doing. That's awesome.
We just ticked up to 99 too.
Perfect.
Almost at
Alright,
100.
guys. It looks like everybody's ready, so I am gonna start the race. Good luck.
All right, good luck.
All right, and I can't tell if Stephen Q Beats just got number 99 or number 100, but another GG for Stephen Q Beats.
I think it was 99.
Yeah, it was at 98
Okay.
and then it popped up to 99.
Got it.
So someone got 98. He got 99 and someone else got 98. Pretty close together. Or he got 98 and someone else got 99, but it was close.
All right. So our 3-pack is underway. So Stephen Q Beats is not in the 3-pack race. We're just excited to see him continue to get the job done. In the meantime, our 3-pack race includes Zero the 14th, Looking for Giants, Tom Cabs, Coconut Ed, and Bedwell Blackburn. They're looking to beat the game 3 times in a row. So it's going to be basically 3 of the same thing, but where it's 3 in a row and race time, anything can happen. We might see a few deaths. We might see some runaway Jasons, and that's going to make them not feel so great. But since they're all doing 3 races, it gives them a lot of opportunities to have to deal with the same thing. Now, hopefully, we'll get 3 perfect runs from everybody, and it just
That would
comes
be
out to how well they execute.
Like when we first started 3-packs, our big goal time was kind of, we were hoping to get sub 10s, and then PGH and Tom Cabs were like, no, we're gonna get sub 9s. Which means each run is under 3 minutes, which is just absolutely incredible.
Okay, all of our racers are on late day 1 Jason battles here. Okay, Coconut Ed out at 143.
Wow, that is flying.
Yep. Okay. So I'm trying to just watch the timers on our runners here to see what we're at when day 2 ends. There's a lot of dying Jason going on right now. Tom Cabs at 211. Coconut a little bit after that. I think about 215. Zero out at about 220, 221. Giants 224, Bedwell 225. So we have some good stuff going on here. Again, this is only the first round out of 3 that they're going to be going consecutively. So Tom Cabs with an early commanding lead, but he's got to hold it, of course. He's got a 3-cycle Jason here. You can see he goes left to manipulate Jason back on the screen for a second round, and he got so many great hits there. Okay, and he's gonna keep Jason on the screen. 254 to start off. Okay, Coconut Ed out around maybe 258, 0 to 302. Giants out of 310. Bedwell hopefully wrapping up here. Yeah, looks like they're going to. And 317. So great start. Everybody just getting through really, I guess not day 1, but battle 1. Tom Cab's already back into the woods. He's got his key. Making his way quickly to his note. 0 into the woods as well. Doesn't get a good key to start, but gets a good second key. He had to jiggle a little bit to get it, but that's okay. Coconut getting a
you can
pretty
get
decent
lucky
key.
on that second one. If you get the triple
Yeah.
back on key where it spawns behind you 3 times, that's just made of sadness and fail.
And typically is a reset, but not in a race.
Yep, we just blame Laura and move on.
Yep. Tom Cabs has his torch. 0 has got his torch now. Probably about 6 seconds behind, I would say. Which in the second round of 3 is not bad at all. Anything can happen. Stephen Q Beats having to go back to get the key, but he's having a little trouble. That hitbox is not ideal. Okay, Tom Cabs on the second cycle of day 1 Jason kills or attacks here. Or third cycle, he's already done. He's on the swaps. 0 the 14th is on the 3rd cycle here. very clean, very clean. Giants is also on these cycles, and as is Coconut. Bedwa is doing some swapping to George for Mark swapping, so now he's in there as well. Tomcabs is working his way through day 2. As we know, day 2 is all about killing Jason, ideally in 3 cycles. And it looks like Tomcabs is going to get 3 cycles. That's fantastic. See how the 14th? Round 2, and now...
He might have... I should have thrown that extra one. Yeah, he might be gone.
There he goes.
Might be going to the lake, or we'll catch him right here. Nope, got him. Oh, jeez. But I'm also way too close to die.
But you've been here way too many times doing god runs and the such.
Yeah, had to go into hitless strats there. God runs are fun. More people should do them. It's a good time.
Us plebs can't handle that.
God run is a no-hit stone-only game.
Tomcats with a 250. Off to round 3. And Coconut looking really great here too. Look, Coconut's looking at a sub 3 here. But Jason runs away. He's gonna have to go down to the lake. And sure enough, he's there. And a 258 for Coconut. So Coconut is just showing up to these races. That you go and reset and make their way. They can put a challenge up to Tomcats here. If Tomcats takes a death. Day 0 on to day 3. Giants is trying to manipulate here on day 3. Bedwa should close this out, but he could take a death, but he doesn't. He's got the 303. GG's Bedwa onto the 3rd of 3 rounds. And Steve Kubitz is looking about to wrap up another kill. Giants working to manipulate. Where are you, Jason? Let me close you out and get to the 3rd round.
I see 101 now. We're above 100 in triple digits.
Great work to our runners. Our 3-pack runners here are building up a base of runs that they're going to update with. It's going to explode after this race, so...
It's going to be a
how quickly it happens. Yep.
We're going to avenge an entire movie all at once.
Alright, Bedwa picking up the note. Giants still looking for that Jason. Where are you, you pesky Jason? Right, Coconut on the way on the long path. Gonna do some George swapping here to get Jason going. Tomcabs done with day 1. On to day 2 of the 3rd round. Just absolutely ridiculous. Incredible work by Tomcabs. 0 wrapping up day 1 here. The 3 cycles on Jason hit him 7 times. Each time he runs away on the 7th throw. Do our Chrissy swapping. Torch passing. Close out day 1. Coconut also closes out day 1 on a 145. That's great. Tomcab's done with day 2. On to the woods for day 3. Just absolutely masterful work by Tomcabs. No doubt feeling good. Avenging his own demons in the round robin. Oh, had a little trouble with the zombie there. Not that Tomcabs is too worried. Still looking at sub 3. But he went to go left and Jason ran away, so it's getting a little fishy right now. And then 0 having some trouble. He's just trying to avoid dying, because we definitely don't need to be dying here. But again, he knows this game too well, and he knows how to dodge Jason, and he does successfully. So
day
out of
2
day
is actually
2...
the worst there. Day 3 is a lot easier to do hitless than day 2, because Jason's speed is more consistent. In day 2, he can be going slow or fast, so it's kind of a pain.
And I missed it. I think Tomcabs, I think he took a death. Unfortunately, I didn't see if he died or is he's just doing a 4th round here. So if someone in chat caught that, we can get some clarification. But Coconut is done.
Yeah, looks like Coconut finished, but I didn't see Tom.
Yeah, I didn't quite catch if it was a death or if he's just going for extra credit here. All right, GG's Coconut Ed on winning the 3-pack. 0 to 14th, second place, GG's. Bedwa, third place, GG's. Great work. This is all assuming Tom Cabs is not doing a 4th round extra credit, making the teacher extra happy with his 4th run here, but we'll find out once he's done.
Look at that. Look at those numbers just fly up. That is a thing of beauty.
Oh yeah, when each of you are putting up 3s, it's fantastic. All right, Tom Cab's taking care of day 1 masterfully. Okay, meanwhile, Zero is doing a little extra credit while we figure out whether we're going to do another race scenario or just keep the casual killing going. Oof, that's about Zero's worst key he could ever want.
Yeah, you don't
go
want
back
it.
for it.
When it's too far to the when you're too far to the left, you can't get another one to spawn in front, so you just got to go back.
Right.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, you and I are both on our race percents, well, really our new percents too, where you really can't go backwards at all in PB. Like, and it feels great when you actually have it spawn in front of you, where you can just jump into it. But like now, it's needed. You need it to actually PB.
Yeah, then if you don't get it, then you're like, well, I guess I'll finish out the run, but it can't do anything.
Right. Okay, Tom Cabs will be closing this one out. He's got plenty of health. Jason's sticking around at 248. Come on, Tom Cabs.
Wow.
Leave some Jason for the rest of us.
He just casually beat my PB in a race setting. That is just nuts.
Oh gosh, it's bananas.
GG runners.
GG's, everybody.
Just bananas.
Oh, look at that count. Look at that kill count fly up. We are
Tom
almost
Cabs,
at
if you
120
could-
now.
If you could in chat, just let us know. Did you just do 4 runs, or did you end up dying on the 3rd one and closed out that last one there? 'Cause unfortunately, I missed it. But either way, a 248 is mind-blowing.
Yeah. And I'll let you guys decide if you would like to keep doing 3-packs. I will keep making rooms, or we can just start, watching the field again. It's up to you all.
I'm good with whatever. I know you had mentioned something about a Pamela power-ups. Did you want to see that, or?
I think if there are folks that want to do it, maybe after we hit the 169, I'm down. But maybe get to the 169 first.
Yeah, that Pamela power-ups would have to put in an original card, because you can't get the Pamela on race percent.
Alright, so we got some clarification. Tom Cab said that he had to reset at the end of run 3, day 3, because backups problems. So, unfortunate, backup challenges for Tom Cabs, but thankfully, in the end, we got to see a 248 occur, so, all things happen for a reason. Tom Cabs, again, just shining bright regardless of the race results, but GG's from everybody. GG's to Coconut Ed for taking first. Great job, everybody. And most importantly, that kill counter is now at 118.
That was just adding 3
119
at a time. 190, even better.
Yeah, I
And
think
you know
that one
what?
was Stephen Q Beats. Look at him go. He's resetting. He's off to the races again. He wants to. I think he wants to hold second place here, Zero. Maybe he even wants to get to first. You think you got a challenge here?
Yeah, Steven picked this up
Side
really
quest.
quickly.
And I've opened
he's
up
great.
another. Okay.
And Steven
Go
is
ahead,
also
Luke
like, oh, what was that?
I was just gonna mention, it occurred to me it'd be nice to have Racetime GG to just time your race 3-packs, and since we're just doing this, I opened up another one. So if y'all want to jump in, that's cool. I'm gonna wait like, I don't know, 5 minutes. And
Okay,
if
yeah,
not,
I'll hop in after this round.
Yeah, and then we can just kind of keep track that way. Plus, it feels good to just see the number pop up like 10 or 15 at a time. Feels like we're making some progress.
And it's so much. It's even though it's the same amount of runs, it feels different when you're seeing them go up in batches of 3 coming in all at once versus 1 at a time.
It's almost like
And it
watching
just-
water boil, right? Like if you could just see the water in the pot just go from like, sitting to boiling, it's like, whoa, that's amazing, So it's like, even though it's still happening the same way, it's pretty exciting to see the number just, the result that we're looking for get very close.
And I'm just gonna throw this out here because we had some 9-minute or some sub-10s in there. And even, folks that were just, the fact that you completed was big, because if you look on Friday the 13th on SRC, they have a race percent 3-pack category. There are currently only 5 runners posted there. So hey, if you're doing the work and you haven't posted your time, you should definitely do that.
Yeah, it's basically it's a high place. It's a fun category that usually, like, on Friday the 13th, a lot of times we'll just get on a group Discord call and talk or something, and while we play the game. That's not where Jason goes. But a lot of times we end up doing those 3-packs just because it adds another layer.
It's a bit of a marathon. You're asking RNG and things to cooperate, Jason to cooperate, and your execution to cooperate for nine or so minutes. You're right. The complexity goes up.
And there's just little things, like if you just chase Jason too much on day 2, or you don't chase him fast enough, like you're trying to get in an extra torch and he runs into the woods and you can't catch him, like, oh, there goes 2 minutes. It's really easy to do. And it's very tempting because you want to get in like 8 or 9 hits every one of those rounds. So, if you want that great time, well, you got to be aggressive. But if you're aggressive, you do get punished by this game.
Like, you have to be, if you want to be aggressive, you have to also be spot on. You can't mess up.
So Stephen Q Beats, Bedwa, and Zero all finishing additional runs. We're now at 122. We're only 47 kills away from fully avenging all of the deaths from Jason.
And after
all the
this
kills
3-pack is
by
done,
Jason.
we're going to be, by the time the 3-pack is done, we're probably going to be sitting at like 140. It's like,
It's
it looks
absolutely
like
amazing.
Steven keeps going.
And we've got another
I'm-
4 entrants in for the 3-pack. So yeah, so that'll be another 12 right there. Just bam.
That's great. Yeah, I'm convinced that Stephen Q Beats is his secret mission tonight is be the ultimate Avenger, but we'll see as the night plays out.
My goal is to have a 3-pack where I don't choke, end up in a forest after Jason at the lake. Those are good skills to have, but not in a 3-pack.
True. Yeah. And breaking news, though it's been about 10-15 minutes, I am now officially in last place, though I'm proud to say I was a part of it, so my 6 means something. But yeah, we got 2, 4, 6, 8 runners that have posted times to kill Jason and avenge the deaths. And I think there's still time. I mean, people are welcome to join and be a part of the mission if they'd like.
Every kill counts, and if you're like, I've never done this, I don't know what I'm doing, inside our Discord we have PGH's excellent tutorial, so like within a half hour you could be running right now. And this run, if you're trying to play at a high level, it is very punishing, but it's actually not bad if you're taking your time. And so it's actually pretty accessible, I would say. So if you haven't ever tried it, and you kind of feel like you want to, now's the time. And you've got Zero the 14th, who is an excellent teacher, right here and now. And I'm sure he would answer your questions if you try to give it a shot and got stuck or something.
Yeah, I will. The only thing you have to worry about is me talking your ear off. I don't think I mentioned earlier, I can talk about like the little inner workings and the tiny details about this game for hours. It's just, ever since I found out that Jason has a set route that he follows and he doesn't teleport around the map, I needed to know everything about the game. Like, you can block crows from spawning on the lake you can block Jason from hitting you on the lake by manipulating crows, and there's like so many little things like that. Like, Pamela has a distinct pattern that she follows over and over again. Like, she does, like, how many times she'll react to you, but the number of times she dives and everything is always going to be consistent. Her delay between dives is always consistent. There's so many things to learn. But the Pamela, completely optional. It's not something you have to know to play the game. It's just the only real use you have for her is getting the sweater on day 2 and the pitchfork on day 3. Is Coconut doing this 3-pack, or is he?
I don't see Coconut, and I did just shoot, and I shot a message out to Bedwa to see if he's ready to go, and then I also invited Steven, because why not? More the merrier, to see if he'd like to do some 3-packs.
If you don't know Steven, he's a very, very good Castlevania 2 runner, and he's like, like we have like people like PGH that know this game inside out. Steven is like the authority on Sweet Home. If you're familiar with that, it's a game that was never released here, way too graphic, but Resident Evil was originally going to be a Sweet Home remake. It was made by Capcom, has by far the most graphic scene I've ever seen on a NES game. It's an incredible RPG, so much fun, great to play around Halloween, incredibly dark story that I can see why they probably didn't they weren't able to release it here.
All right, I think we're all readied up.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
So, Giants, who do we have in the 3-pack here?
We have Bedwa, Zero, myself, and Top Caps.
May our knives and keys be good.
And our keys be close.
Well, my knife was not very good to start with, but that's okay. So by the time this is done, we're going to probably be close to like 140 overall. We're going to be within 30 kills. If I say 130, I meant 140.
Okay. So we got our 4 racers in the 3-pack. Zero, Giants, Bedwa, and Tom Cabs. They're gonna complete this run 3 times in a row. There's nothing fancy about it. They're simply resetting and going again. And what it does is, over the time of 3 races, it increases the likelihood that either RNG or just the trickiness of the execution are going to catch up and cause some variability to your run. So, most importantly, when we're done, we'll have 12 more Jason kills on the board. We'll be that much closer to our final goal. Well, our first goal, which is actually getting to 169. Okay, Tom Cabs with a Debbie swap, or rather the Chrissy swap already. closing it out at 139 day one. Just incredible
Holy
work.
Wow,
Wow.
139. That is
Yeah.
seeing something in the low 140s is big. I don't know if I've ever seen something below 130. I mean, in the 130s. That is just nuts.
Hey, look. Look, if we're gonna see a world record on stream, I am all for it.
Yeah, no kidding.
That would be amazing.
Okay, day two is 2070. Are we on world record pace here?
I'm not sure. What was his time? 244?
Yeah.
I think this is his 244 and change. I mean,
Yeah.
that's could be close,
It,
depending
it'll
on how
be
nice
competitive
Jason on day
regardless.
3. Yeah,
Yeah.
no one's gonna, unless day 3 falls apart. No one's gonna finish that before him. That's incredible.
Okay, we're at 238. He's got the 2 cycle here. Okay, he's coming up on the 3rd battle. All right, so it's not going to be a world record, but it's going to be a ridiculous time. Oh, we got a 4 cycle. 250. Still ridiculous. Just amazing.
That's just wow.
All right, Zero closes out first round with a 302. Giants with a 304. This is a race, guys. Bedwa out too. I missed it, but it was probably about a 310. So, just excellent, excellent work by all of our racers here. Tomcap's just, had a little bit of rust going on, or just bad, things working out in his round robin, but that's all over now. That's gone. Ever since he, moved on and just started the 3-pack, he's been unstoppable. The
Yeah.
Tomcaps we know.
It's starting to look like it's going to be Tom, and then the rest of us are going to be really. It's like when you're playing darts and you get one bullseye. Like you get a really nice bullseye grouping, and then there's a couple other darts that are off to the side. That's going to be Tom at the bullseye, and the rest of us are just going to kind of be off on the side.
Happy
or
to be
in the
along for
wall
the
or
ride.
something like
It's
that.
fine.
Mhm.
We're playing among legends. We have multiple legends on stream today,
Yeah, I might have to go back. I'm assuming Best of Nest post VODs or something, or like because I want to go back and watch these runs from Tom, because I'm not really paying attention to what he's doing right now, and it sounds like it's definitely something I want to see. Uh-oh.
His Chrissy menuing was great. He's out at 138.
Oh my gosh.
I killed Jason with Mark. That's a problem.
Uh-oh. That's not great.
Whoops.
Oh crap. Oh god.
Yeah, that's why you count to 7.
Yeah, I had some pretty good discipline earlier. When I got to 7, I stopped. I was like, okay, get out of here, Jason.
Alright, we're gonna do cabin fight here, try to at least keep him on.
Oh, Tomcaps takes a death. Oof. All right, back to the beginning of round 2, and that, this game penalizes you hard in a race. Suddenly, it is anybody. So, it's Tom and everybody else. Now it's everybody else and Tom. But that's the other thing about 3-pack. Let's not underestimate Tom's ability to come back in this.
I think Giants might be. If Bedwa said he had to reset too, Giants might have a pretty good lead coming up here. I'm not sure how.
that's
Everyone had to
the
reset.
yip-
Okay.
Yips are gonna set in. Oh no. I'll try not to choke.
Oh, I thought I was gonna die there. So I did manage to, even though I killed Jason I got the day 1 kill with Mar.
Oh,
That's not gonna work. Chrissy's in the wrong cabin. We're gonna have to go back this way.
And now I'm lost in the woods. That's what happens every freaking time, I swear to god.
Oh boy.
Oh no, I'm okay. Okay, I do remember that one. That's good. Although he's killing the children, so you guys can catch up now.
Well, this is gonna be really. interesting. One more, please. So that was sloppy, but... Well, I guess that's not bad. 346 for getting the kill with Mark. Doing that cabin fight to make up for it worked out pretty well.
Yep. Yeah, win's a win. You get out of a round and you move on to the next round. Everything is back to square one. That's all you can hope for.
Yep, I mean, I'm run 3 now. Run 2 was not great. It sounds like everyone had issues with run 2.
Yeah. Giants is looking to close 2 out still. Oh no, Topcaps takes another death. It's a bummer. Ugh, this game.
Dangerous game, it really is.
It can be like you say, it can be really punishing.
Whew.
You overmash once, and you don't get that torch hit you need, and that can be the difference. Just like you hit B a frame or two too early. That can be the difference.
Alright, Giants, so you're on to 3 now, right? Bedwas,
Yep,
working on 3?
Yep, on 3 now.
Or working toward 3, rather. Alright, great. Tom's hit his tolerance of the game being the game. GG's, Tom. Totally understandable.
Still awesome to watch you. Oh god, get the key.
Yep,
Get the key.
take a breath.
And
if
you
you're
got
willing
that.
and interested,
Oh boy.
keep the kills coming, Tom. If you can. If you want to. Doesn't have to be race format. Sometimes the races do not want to be nice to us.
I think this is a really good illustration of the execution part of this game, is that a whole lot can go wrong really, really fast, and the errors don't have to be major if you're trying to get these top times. But I promise this is a very fun run to learn, and it can be pretty chill. But, you gotta just, get that reset button ready sometimes when things go wrong. But not in a race 3-pack. You can't reset. Well, you can reset, but it doesn't necessarily help you.
I did just force a 3 cycle, which was very useful.
Are you on 3-0?
Yeah, I'm on day 3, run 3. Like if you
Giants.
I don't know how many people count their hits, but counting your hits is something you can, when you start trying to really push a time down, counting your hits can be a really big deal, because then you'll know if you're going to get a 3 cycle or a 4 cycle. After a while, you kind of figure out based on how Jason, like if he stops and throws his axe, or if he backs away and throws the axe. You'll kind of figure out how all that ends up working.
Zero wraps up the race 3-pack. 301. Great third run. Yeah, overall, not bad. Everybody had those lovely complications that come with the 3-pack. But Jason continues to die regardless.
Which is really interesting that all 3 of us ended up having pretty substantial issues all on run 2.
Right. We all got a little overconfident on the first run. We're like, oh yeah, now we're de-rested, it's fine.
Tom was way out in front, but then I think the rest of us were all within 4 seconds of each other on run 1.
Yeah.
So that was a really
It was
tight
very
pack.
close.
So we're probably going to be closing in on, once the rest of the runs are put in, we'll be nearing 140.
Yeah, I'll hold on talking about the individual kills right now until everybody's updated their times. I know Giants hasn't updated hers yet, and there it goes. Now it's updated.
GG's?
Bedwa's still busy. And I know, Zero, you got yours in right away because you're loving this.
Oh, anytime, playing this game is, I'd probably put well over 1,000 hours into this game. probably more than that. And just like having the chance to showcase what I'd consider to be possibly the most misunderstood game ever made. And hopefully if like one person is watching these and like, this is a game that I think I might want to learn, then that's awesome. We're always trying to grow the community.
Music to your
around
ears.
this game.
Absolutely. Tsunade with the raid. Thank you so much for the raid, Tsunade. Welcome in, Raiders. Welcome in, Tsunade. We appreciate you coming in. This is Best of Ness. We're doing a community kill challenge, avenging all the deaths by Jason's hands across his movies. 169 is the minimum we want to get to tonight. We're currently at 133, and that number is actually a little low until Bedwa updates his times in the 3-pack race that he's got going on right now. So making great progress on this. Appreciate you all being here and being a part of this on this wonderful event of Friday the 13th.
And thanks for helping us out, Steven. Steven's done for the night. 25 kills.
Nice.
Amazing work, Steven. That is not a small feat.
Without that, we'd barely beat 100 right now. GG, Steven. Welcome in, Raiders.
Zero doing some Paul jumping here.
Yeah, I overestimated my mash and lost count. Jason's probably got 1 or 2 bars left when Chrissy died, so I have to go get I have to go get another torch with Paul and pass it to Mark. And my goal is always to do these without having to actually reset a run, so if something goes really bad, I just roll with it. I mean, unfortunately, rolling for it means that we take an hour and a half to go get a torch with Paul. Oh, I never read the first torch note.
So, looking like a reset then, or
Nope,
are you gonna have to go all the way
we're
back?
walking back, reading the torch note. I will not reset. I refuse to
That's
reset.
fair. Oh, you get a zombie conga line going on there.
Yep. Little bit of a back rub from the zombie, a little bit stinky, probably a little bit of bad smell, but I mean, these kids are toast, unfortunately. I apologize to the parents.
Yeah, so while our runners are going, we might as well get an update here. As you can see on the screen, 134 deaths have been avenged of the 169 known kills by Jason across his movies. You can see we have our individual totals on the screen here above our avenged number. Coconut Ed still with a very convincing lead of 39 kills. They've been working probably for the last 5 or so hours and participating in the races and the round robin. So just great work by Coconut Ed. Stephen Q Beats, they have stopped for the night. They have decided to rest. 25 kills. Amazing work. Zero the 14 still going strong with 20 kills. PGH Guitar Guy stopped at 13, but no doubt if he was still going, he'd be in the 30s at this point. Just amazing runner. Bedwa Blackburn at 13 and running. Tom Cabs is at 11, took a little bit of a break and is now back in action. And then Looking for Giants at 10 and counting. And then I got in my 6 earlier prior to the Best of Nest stream starting. And I'm happy and comfy with that number as well. So great work to all of our individual runners. Just massive kills going on here. Take massive vengeance, if you will.
Jason had 1 bar left. I was that one overmash is what put Jason at 1 health. That's
Wow.
literally like that one little mistake can cause things to go so poorly. Like this was what's the timer say here? Because normally you'd be on a normal run, you'd be getting to this point at like 2:30. and it's 6 minutes. So that was that one little mistake was like 3.5 minutes or so. That's the beauty of this run.
Yeah, when you hear the term "off the rails," this
Mhm.
run is one of the epitomes of that. Like, it can go off the rails hard. Okay, Giants with another victory. We are at 141. Popcorn actually updating their counter. They've got 2 kills, so they may not have updated a kill earlier, but now they just updated with the one they just got. So we're at 141. We're only 28 away from our initial goal.
We're closing in fast.
Indeed. GG's to Popcorn. GG's to Giants. Great work. Keeping it going. Tomcabs is right about ready to wrap up and could have a 2-4x here. And just missed it. 250. Another incredible
Oh,
run by
wow.
Tomcabs.
It is crazy just how many, like, so 250, just for perspective, is an insanely good time. Like, you know, you can get 3, you know, maybe 258s, but yeah, 250 is crazy. Just to just drop that casually.
Yep, 250 would be 8th on the board for race percent out of 44 for perspective. So absolutely wonderful job. Zero, I missed your time, but this was the long one, right? Is
That was
like
about
7
8
and
minutes.
8? Yeah.
Yeah, 8 minutes.
So that would be last place on the race percent board, but you know, you stuck to the no reset, so there's some that's admirable.
Yeah, that's what, like, my favorite thing to do with this game is just to chase Jason down and try to do hitless path fights. Like, I've spent hours doing that. So this is a fun change of pace.
We have some breaking news by Steven Q Beats in the chat. He said he double checked his local recording and he got a PB of 255.
Wow.
Well, congrats,
God.
Steven. GG's. I will verify that when you send it in. That is a
That's good.
great race time. That actually the in-game timer is about 4.5 seconds slower than real time. So a 255 is a sub 3. It would be like a sub 3 in any percent. So that's a slasher license time.
It's amazing.
And there's I think we've got what, maybe 12, 13 of those on the boards. I think you
Yeah,
were the
there-
most recent slasher license arc.
What time was the slasher license for
Sub 3.
Sub
For any
3.
percent, it's sub 3. Technically, there's not like an official slasher license for race percent, but it'd be like 255 in 30 frames or 255 and a half.
Gotcha.
I think it's like maybe it's 4.62 seconds or something like that. Because with the in-game timer, it stops counting when you do a screen transition, and that's 6 frames each. So when Rossi added the in-game timer, he actually went through and he made a spreadsheet and he updated all the times for us. So we didn't have to go back and retime everything. It was very nice.
Yeah, really awesome. Yeah, I was really proud of. I didn't expect to do what I did for my times. I was like, there's a lot of games where I'm just looking to do the best I can and then move on. This one was different, and I was like, when I was done, I was like, I am very, very proud of what I've done, and it's fun to be a part of the community now.
Yeah, we've got, I mean, obviously a little bit of bias for me, but I feel like the Friday community is one of the best speedrunning communities I've found. Obviously biased, but we're always trying to, like, we try to help new people whenever we can. Like, I don't know of any, I mean, I'm sure this happens in some Nest speedrunning communities, but like, there's no information hoarding. If someone finds something new or learns something new, it's immediately shared with other people. Like, we're trying to make sure everyone has access to the same information, and we want to learn more about this game.
Absolutely. So Tom Cabs takes a win. Zero the 14th takes a win. 2 more tallies for the board. 146 deaths avenged. Just wonderful, wonderful efforts by everybody tonight. We have now 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 runners that have participated actively in the count here. Just incredible. And Bedwa has just moved into 4th place with 14 kills.
We are flying.
Yep. Zero the 14th, a 3-pack away from tying for 2nd place. Coconut's at 40 now. 40!
Coconut's avenged like 3 movies worth.
Massive, massive work. And these runs don't just happen. It's not like, okay, that's 40 times 3 minutes each, 120 minutes, no big deal. No, this is work that you have to put in on these runs.
Like sometimes, like a run goes bad, you gotta reset, you gotta spend an extra couple minutes trying to do a backup strat. They're not all like a nice, clean 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Exactly.
You can get that really good one that's a sub 3, and then your next one's 6. And then you forget how to count to 7, you do a Jason hug.
Yeah, sometimes Jason likes to get really, really close when he throws the daggers or the machetes. It's not really appreciated.
He loves hugs. You know, the man is a hugger. What can you say?
And he's an aspiring dentist. If you fight him in a cabin after the 3rd time and after that you fight him in a cabin, he's holding a toothbrush. Definitely not an axe.
So Giants is a cycle or so away from tying PGH Guitar Guy, and there it is. Giants is now tied PGH Guitar Guy with 13
GG's.
kills.
Lucky number 13.
Beautiful. Zero's cruising. Day 2 done. Day 3, here we go.
So I have a question for you, Zero.
Mhm.
So if you are, oh god, as I'm not paying attention, if you are in day 1
Mhm.
and you are killing the zombies with rocks, does it help to bend down or not?
Oh yeah,
I
for
personally
me it
choose
does.
to because you can throw a rock over a zombie's head if you don't crouch.
Ah.
So I always duck just to make sure I'm not throwing one over the zombie's head. And if the zombie's really close to you, the arc won't matter. But if they're standing at the wrong location, it'll end up going right over their head.
Okay. See, I've never even asked it. I was like, I saw PGH do it, and I'm just gonna copy him. But I didn't know if there was a rationale for it.
Yeah, like there's I know like when I'm doing the torches and stuff, I'll duck, and I don't really think as far as I know, there's no difference between standing or ducking with a torch. It's just something I choose to do. But I think, like, there's no, as far as I know, there's no, I mean, I could definitely be wrong about this. There's still a lot of things I don't know about this game, but I don't think there's a difference after you've got the torch, just with the rocks. And it's only because of the arc.
What's amazing though, Zero, is that you've forgotten more about this game than most of us will ever know.
Well, I don't think anyone else has the obsession that I do with this. Yeah, I spent 3 weeks just doing save states to learn how to do hitless path fights for low percent, and I wish I would have thought of Googling it first, because D. Tysonator he was the first one to do a God run. If you're not familiar with D. Tysonator, he's also the guy that did blindfolded Mike Tyson first in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. And he is also the best ever at this game. Like, he was doing God runs 10 years ago. before the rest of us even knew how Jason's pathing worked.
It's not a
And there's
surprise
this-
that E. Tysonator's someone who did something like that. Not surprising at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah, he's like, I would love to talk to him about this game at some point, because I feel like there's so many little things that I can't figure out that I feel like he just like, oh yeah, it's this. It's just like, it's so much fun to, if you get the chance, like look up some of his runs on YouTube or something. I think I don't remember what he calls them, but he's got two god runs on there, and just everything he does is it's unfair to Jason when he's playing this, because Jason just has no chance. Have some self-respect, people. Stand up.
And in
Alright,
addition
so Tom, are
to-
you a standing rock thrower?
Oh yeah, we should ask. Take a poll. Oops.
I think that was.
And I was also going to mention that on top of Zero's encyclopedic knowledge of this game, he has an encyclopedic knowledge of all things Friday the 13th. Like when we were creating this tracking sheet, you know, he was pointing out like, oh, you know, this death actually didn't occur the way that it's being depicted, and things like that. Like it was pretty fun.
If you like the Friday the 13th movies and you want to know like behind the scenes stuff, Crystal Lake Memories is like I think it's like a 7-hour documentary about it. Like they go into each movie, they go into the TV show, and it's so much fun to watch. You learn so much about the movies and everything.
"17 deaths away from our initial goal. Thank you all for being a part of this tonight, chat. And watching the journey, watching the round robin races, the 3-pack races, and just the consistent persistence of wanting to avenge deaths at the hands of Jason. We've seen some incredible work today by all of our runners. Some real standouts in their dedication to getting the vengeance. It's just been an awesome experience, and appreciate everybody in chat being a part of that. Tom Cabs is welching on his standing. He said, "Oh wait, no, I meant not for rocks. I meant torches." Okay, Tom Cabs, we got you.
Oh, biscuits! I just picked up a knife. I downgraded my torch.
Oh, not the knife pickup. That feels so bad. It really feels bad.
And I think this is a fight to the death too now. He's at 7 bars, so this is gonna be 28 knife hits. So basically how hitless path fights work is you want to keep Jason in this pattern where he backs away and throws the axe. To do that, we get to one end of the screen, jump over his head, and once he starts his throwing animation, he's locked in place. If you jump too early, he'll back up and you'll jump right into him. So you just kind of want to keep doing this over and over, and if he charges at you and doesn't back up, then you go against all logic and you jump towards him, because that will make him throw an axe. And then you just keep doing one of those two. If he runs at you, jump towards him, and then jump over his head. If he backs away, then you just run to the other side. So this is kind of a little... And if he charges at you like that, you want to jump at him, go partway over his head, and then stand still, and he should back away instead of running into your back.
This is what we call anxiety.
Well, I've practiced these path fights on day 3 so much, where the only thing that really gives me trouble sometimes is when he first shows up on the screen, and there is a way to deal with that too. try to stand a little bit to the left of the middle of the screen, and then you just watch when he runs on. If he stops and throws an axe, then you know that you're going to have to jump at him. And if he backs away, you're in the good pattern, you're fine. So he's kind of got two different approaches that he does.
It's funny because watching it, you can see that there are times where you get so much distance on him, and I think most people's intuition would be try to get 2 or 3 knife throws in there, but then you're basically asking to take an axe right to your face, right?
Yeah, there's one time you can maybe get 2 shots in on him on day 3, but it's a huge risk. I don't know exactly what your window is to do that without getting hit, but it's not very big. I'd say when I was trying to practice that to see if I could get the my low percent time better for that speed run, and I was only about maybe 60% where I could do that without getting hit. So at this point, unless I can get more consistent at that, it's not worth trying to hit him twice. But it is still fun, because basically you throw the second one and then you're jumping and barely missing him. So it looks really cool, but it's just unfortunate that your odds are you're going to take a hug instead. And we don't like Jason hugs.
No hugs.
Someone in chat was asking what number was the guy that had his head knocked off in Manhattan,
Julius?
and I was like, well, we do have this, so we could scroll through and try to find which one is that in.
His name is Julius. That is in part 8, Jason Takes Manhattan. Julius
course.
Gaw.
I love that you have that like at the ready.
There it is, right there.
So he has been avenged already.
Yeah, I don't want to count. Yeah, where are we at right now? We're at about like here-ish, right? Craig, Blake's dad. Person got folded in half.
No, died.
Oh, is that the Freddy vs. Jason?
Yep.
Very nice. I love that movie. Everything I wanted. I just wanted Freddy vs. Jason, the same movie. I didn't care about much else. And I thought the movie itself was it was really good. I liked it a lot.
It's great that we're now in Jason X.
We are in Jason
for
X.
our yeah.
We're on like Stony or something. Getting stabbed.
Hey,
So we already
7.
got Adrian. We're nearing. Well, I think Janessa's the last kill in Jason X, because, well, unless you count. Well, no, Brodsky would probably be technically the last one, because he dies pushing Jason into the atmosphere, and that's after Janessa.
And we're not counting Solaris. We don't know how many people actually died on Solaris. So we're just gonna say if it wasn't an on-screen person, doesn't count.
The only named character on Solaris was Dieter Perez. He was the guy that Professor Lowe was talking to.
And we also didn't count the deaths that he indirectly caused. You know, because some people killed other people, like accidentally trying to shoot at Jason and things like that. Like, those don't count. These are actual Jason, at the hands of Jason kills, so.
I think that would be, was it Colleen from Jason Takes Manhattan, the teacher? Miss Van Dusen?
I can't. And I think there's one that's earlier than that, now that I'm thinking about it. Like, one of the guards, right? Kills another? Maybe not.
I think so, yeah. Jason Takes Manhattan is not regular viewing for me, so I don't know that one as well as most of the others. Yeah, I know there's multiple cases where someone definitely dies because of some Jason, but not directly.
And we didn't include, Friday the 13th 1, as you'll notice on the sheet, because those were not Jason, they were his mom. But we were, depending on what folks wanted to do, we were going to allow some Pamela power-ups to account for those deaths if we wanted to. That's a tougher run to learn because we don't have a race ROM but it is a fun one.
And that seed is brutal. It does, as far as I can tell, it does not repeat. So you have a 1 in 156 chance of getting it. It is miserable trying to run that.
So if we were gonna do that, it's almost just worth just doing an any percent, like, to be honest, and just
Yeah,
going
you just
and killing Jason.
basically put on the normal game and not race percent, and just kill Pamela on all 3 days.
Yeah.
There's another knife over here. Or did I pick it up already?
Do you want to explain that, Zero, in terms of like item placement and how people get, or where the objects are and
yeah.
how you can get them?
Items, once you kill enough zombies, you'll start spawning items, and each item will appear in like different zones. So one spot of the map will always have a knife, another spot of the map will always have vitamins, and I believe Rossi said there are 4 different places that those can show up. So like if you're in a vitamin zone, there are 4 different spots on the map it can appear. I don't remember, maybe I could have been thinking of something else with that. But once you pick up, like, say you pick up a vitamin with Chrissy, if you go back to that same spot with Mark, that vitamin won't be there. So there's a total of, like, I was trying to get George the torch, and instead I'm fighting Jason with a rock. But, like, there's 14 vitamins, 12 knives. The machete will spawn after 60 zombie kills, or you can get that from Pamela. You can also force an axe to spawn. You can get an axe from Pamela also, or you can kind of manipulate one to spawn as you're leaving the forest cabin where you get the torch note. The axe really doesn't have much use. It's by that point you're basically 90% of the way through getting the torch anyway. And it only does 1 bar of damage per 2 hits versus the torch 1-to-1. So, like, in the area to the left of this cabin, I know that's where a knife spawns. Up here, I believe we'll get a key a little further along this zone, but hopefully Jason will be dead before we get there. And then there's 2 vitamins on the path on the bottom right of the map. There's one in the cave loop. There's a bunch of them in the forest. I think there's 7 total vitamins in the forest. But the forest is kind of set up like a map. You can't really, other than what direction the paths go in, you don't know exactly where you are. There is a set route through it. There's 4 different areas in the forest. But if you get turned around or lost, you're basically just hitting up or down and going through a path and praying you find your way out. And if you're in there at night or dusk, you have to deal with wolves, and wolves suck. They are horrible.
Yeah, I saw Coconut fighting some wolves earlier, and they looked unpredictable and large and dangerous.
Yeah, like if you're trying to do like a hitless run or something, and it's dusk or night, you don't follow Jason into the forest. You just wait on the other side. Because it is not worth trying to deal with a wolf.
Tomcap's just got a 248. That's ridiculous.
That is just nuts. Wow, we're at 162.
Yep, 162.
We're almost clear here.
Yeah, Zero is now tied for second, so the run that Zero is currently on will put them solely in second place. Tomcab's on Stephen Q Beats' tail here with 18 kills. Bedwa Blackburn with 17. Giants with 16. So great, consistent work by all of our runners here. 7 kills away from our goal.
We are not telling whether or not Jason's dead, unfortunately. That is a secret. We don't know. I swear, the first time I beat this game as a kid, I was so excited. Like, I had I'd probably been playing this for like a year. Instead of doing the quick torch, I didn't realize it was only 4 cabins to light to get the torch, so I was lighting all 7 cabins to get my torches. And it'd take me like an hour and a half each playthrough. And the first time I beat this game, I was so excited, and then you see that ending as a 7-year-old kid. I was probably 8 at the time. But you see that ending, and it's very sad. That is
Oh
gotta be
no,
one of the
giants!
worst endings.
That's okay. I got rocks. He's gonna
Okay.
die by rocks.
You doing low percent?
Yeah, low percent with Mark, but he's down.
There we go. GG's Giants.
Well done.
I love rocks. That's fine.
That's just you just do that to show Jason that you don't fear him. You're gonna stop using the torch, and you're just gonna beat him to death with a rock.
Whatever it takes.
Mm-hmm.
What?
163.
Apollo blowing my mind with the Jason. Is that actually that actually is true?
It is true. It is true.
It's the best part of the year.
This is a
Wow.
blessed year, yeah, for Jason killing.
All the way, I gotta blow my mind like that.
It's like this was meant to be.
So after December, do we say you just got Jasoned?
Yeah, you got Jason's, dude.
I think if we don't, we should start. That needs to be a thing.
We can start it right now.
Yeah, I think Zero, when the ball drops 3, 2, 1, he'll tell his family, you just got Jasoned!
And both my daughters and my wife would look at me like I was on drugs or something like that. 'Cause, well, actually, my kids might. They all know that I'm very into Friday the 13th. There's actually a picture. Well, this is my youngest is almost 8 now. She was probably 2 at the time, and I have like a PVC Jason mask, a couple foam ones, and it was Friday the 12th, so I was doing a sad Jason picture in our living room, and they wanted to wear masks and have some of my like plastic machetes that I use for Halloween. So the picture of the 3 of us in our living room, all wearing, well, my youngest daughter wasn't wearing a mask, but we had masks on and fake machetes, and it was a grand old time.
That's fantastic. So let's turn our attention to the fact that we're at 167. Tom Cabs is wrapping up our run right now, and we're very close to the goal.
We are going to avenge people for movies that haven't even been made yet.
Okay. So Tom's got kill 168. It's on you, Giants. You are the closest to number 169 right now.
I will do my best. Oh god, I'm hugging Jason though. I'm hugging Jason.
No
Okay,
hugs,
he's
no
dead.
hugs.
He's dead. He's dead. It's fine. I never expect a 3 cycle.
Yeah, the 3 cycles, like, it's... Especially if you get to 17 hits between the first 2, it all depends on your mash consistency and whether or not Jason runs at you or he stops and throws right away. It's pure RNG, and you never know. Like, if you get 18, you just know. 18 between the first 2 cycles, you know, okay, I've got a 3 cycle, I just have to stand here and mash. But with 17, you've got so many other things to look out for. And then
Okay, here we
16,
go, Giant.
you know,
Sorry, real quick. Giants is on the 3rd cycle here.
Oh my
With
god. I did
Jason.
it again though.
Oh no.
I did it
Okay.
again. It's okay. It's fine. Everything's fine.
Okay. Take
Here we
your
are.
word for it.
no hugs.
He's gonna
Yeah.
die by rocks. It's fine. It's only fitting.
Okay.
He's gonna die by rocks.
Well, that would be the 169 being a rock kill would just be perfect. Here it comes.
There it
GG's.
All right.
It's,
is.
Well done, Giants.
Jason
Well
was
done.
avenged with rocks. Well done.
Great work, community. A global GG for all of our runners. We've gotten to 169 avenged deaths. Every single death that has ever crossed Jason's hands has been avenged. Glory be to the Avengers. May all of the dead rest in peace.
Except for Laura.
Except for Laura. Laura's just taking a nap. There you go.
Yeah, Laura nap.
It's amazing. So Coconut Ed with the 41. That is crazy. Doing the work
That's
today.
nuts. Alright, Zero with a 309. Very nice. 170. Coconut says, "Can I stop now?"
You can
Well
rinse
done,
Coconut,
Coconut.
unless you want to, do Pamela power-ups and torture yourself,
Yeah, Pamela there is some pretty, I mean, her pattern is consistent once you learn it. On day 2, her dive is always going to be, she'll always dive twice after the third, she'll come back. Third dive is always a double. And then on day 3, all you really want to remember is 2, 3, 2, 1. That's the amount of dives she does, and then it just repeats 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1 until it's done.
So I just want to throw this out because I like and play horrible games. Not to say this is a horrible game. This is a fantastic game. But we currently have 1,000 people watching Friday the 13th on Twitch, which is just the highest I think I've ever seen it. So good job, viewers.
A lot of people.
Did you say 1,000?
1,000. It says 1K. I had to check it twice. So, collectively.
Holy buckets.
Yeah. There might be some random stuff in here. Some people attributing their streams, but I'm seeing a whole lot of racers out there.
That is beautiful.
Seems a lot of people have a bone to pick with Jason, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All those hugs, those unwanted hugs, right? We need to avenge those too.
Unsolicited Jason hugs.
Well, amazing stuff. I mean, what's our plan from here? Are we gonna let people just keep going, or we got some fun, creative, different stuff to see?
I think we're gonna call it, unless folks are, interested in doing something else. Maybe checking out some of these runners that are still, trying to kill Jason. Maybe show him some love. But yeah, I think we're about it, because I think we've done what we set out to do.
And then some.
Zero, can you quickly show us throwing Debbie off a cliff?
I
my
can.
gosh, yes.
I'll have to put in my original card
Hold
because
on. Let me give me 2 minutes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I got my original card in here. Now you'll notice the difference when I put on the original card here. The color of the health bars will be red instead of light blue. That was something Rossi added in for us just to make it easier to verify runs. So if you see the red health bar, you know it's any percent. If you see the blue, you know it's race percent. So Debbie started not quite in the right spot here, but I actually went the wrong way. Popcorn, if you're watching this, I apologize.
Oh yes. Yeah. Poor Debbie.
So Debbie is just taking a leisurely stroll. Where is the cake? Josh, she's slow. And then she walks in, but she tripped.
Oh dear.
And then Laura.
GG's.
Laura's going to find Debbie. That's the wrong place too.
And our own Best of Ness legend, Lack, is the one that currently has the for WF a Cliff world record, which was, if you look at that board, it's pretty funny. You can see a lot of people sort of tying for first for a very, very long time. And then, Lack came around and found a couple extra frames to save, so. But there's still one, so if you're interested, you should go for it.
Want to try to get that frame perfect.
Go, Laura, go.
And Laura tripped too.
Good.
Oops.
The end. GG's. Yeah, I'm a poor emulator runner. I was going to start with Debbie off a cliff, and then I learned can't be done. Well, not
Yeah.
the fast way anyway, not the fast seed.
Oh, yeah. I know this is one game where
Wait,
emulators
what
are...
happens? You just don't get that seed?
That's my understanding.
Dang.
Yeah, there are some differences between emulators and original hardware. Like with emulators, people were able to manipulate the any percent seed to, I think it was like 44% of the time they could get any percent. So for a long time, we didn't actually allow emulator runs on the boards. Like there was then How Do You Play had mentioned, is there going to be an emulator category or something, and we discussed it, and the community as a whole decided, yeah, we want to allow emulator runs because we don't want to have. I mean, it's expensive to have original hardware. Friday the 13th itself, it's like a $15-$20 game, so that's not that expensive. But we want to make this more accessible. We want to grow the community. So with that, it's like, yeah, people could manipulate that and get any percent more commonly if they're using an emulator, but we're more interested in bringing new people into the game. And then we got race percent, so that kind of never really mattered anymore. But yeah, like emulators, it's something different. Like when you reset it, I'm trying to remember how they described it. It hops the RAM values or ROM values or something to a different spot, and it's not consistent. Whereas if you're doing that on an emulator, it's all it powers on at the exact same spot. There's a big thread about it on SRC that kind of explains the stuff a lot better than I could.
Yeah, I'm no computer scientist at all, but it's something along the lines of when you reset an emulator, let's just say for sake of argument, if it may not exactly be the frames, but let's say it sets you back to frame 0, and then when you're timing it each time, you start from frame 0, you can kind of more easily time when you want to start it, whereas on a console with something like, let's say you're at frame 200 and you reset, it doesn't go back to frame 0, it goes back to like frame 100 or something like that. So it's not as consistent as an emulator. It was something along those lines.
Mhm.
I don't think it was necessarily the frames, it had something to do with RAM values, like you said, but it was still consistent with emulator and inconsistent with console.
It is a very fun category though, and I think it was Where in Time is Carbon Sandiego has like that coffee percent.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of our version of coffee percent.
I will say, I'm proud to say that I found the biggest run-breaking strat of coffee percent. At the time, the world record was like 9.5 seconds, and I found that while the coffee's pouring, if you mash A and B, it speeds through the cutscene, and was able to drop the world record about 2.5 seconds. So on a 9-second run, that's fairly significant.
Yeah, that's a huge chunk.
Yeah. So now I'm like 4th place or 3rd place or whatever, but I have that as part of my glory.
It's always nice to be the person that finds that new strat.
Yeah.
It's
Wow.
beautiful. Look at all those. Look at all the avenging.
We saved the camp, guys. We did very, very well today. GG.
GG's, everybody.
Just amazing work across the board. Many heroes.
And thank you both Apollo and Zark, for keeping up the stream and the comms. And Zero, thank you so much for, both killing a ton of Jasons, but also, doing all the comm work too.
Well,
Yeah,
and
dual work.
Yeah, thanks to Best of Nest for letting us showcase this again. This is, like I said, this is such a great game, and it unfortunately has a terrible reputation because of how complicated it was and how they didn't explain anything. But once you actually figure out how this game works, it's one of the most fun games I've ever played. So if there's like really good guides on game facts and everything. There's a lot of places now where you can find that information if you want to learn more about how it works, and I don't think you'll regret it. I can't think of many people that have actually learned how the game works that said, no, I still hate this. So thank you again for hosting this for us and letting us showcase this. And Giants, I still don't know how you put together that spreadsheet, but that is just absolutely amazing.
Incredible.
I have a bit of an addiction to Excel sheets, so or to Google Sheets. This is Google, but thank you.
Giants, I mean, you're fantastic. The spreadsheet and then, jumping in comms and then doing runs. I mean, you had so many kills today too. So just many, many different roles. Apollo, great work with the stream. Zero, great work with the runs and the comms. Just fun time all around. This was great work by everybody. And Chad, of course, for keeping things exciting and interesting. All right.
I think
Well,
we're gonna shoot a raid over to a fellow. Never mind. I lied.
We were gonna go for Coconut. Dang it! Hi, Coconut. GG, by the way, for
GG's Coconut?
for the wins and the kills. Is Bedwa still working? I can't tell.
Popcorn's on.
Oh, Popcorn's on, and he
That was
could
a
go
good
show
choice.
some Debbie love. Yeah. But thanks everybody
Right.
for joining, and if you're ever interested in this game, Zero wasn't lying. Like, the Friday the 13th community is fantastic. They're very, very welcoming, and it's a fun run. It really is once you get used to it. But GG's, everybody.
Absolutely one of the more rewarding of the however many games I've played for the NES and speedrun for the NES. This is no doubt one of the top in terms of how rewarding and exciting that it could be. So good times, great job runners, great job production team, great job chat. We had a lot of fun, and we'll see you again very soon on Best of NES. All right, we're out.